Hello everybody. We're trying our first giveaway tonight. I'm kind of excited. I hope it goes well. So the plan, and you can now see what our code is. Let me make sure audio and everything should be up going. So I'll announce what the giveaway or what we'll be doing throughout the stream a few times, but just quickly going over this. This is going to be for, and I apologize to those of you outside of the US right now. This is for US, well, I shouldn't even say it's for US residents only. I'm only sending this to a US address. So if you've got a friend in the US who is willing to forward this to you, you could enter and have them send it to you, and then they can be responsible for the international shipping, or you can pay them or whatever. International shipping is just beyond what I can deal with right now. So that is why I'm limiting this to the US, just because I want to make sure I actually send this to you sometime soon. I'm really bad about getting stuff shipped out. So this one, US only, 18 or older, void or prohibited, all that fun stuff. To enter, you'll go over to our MeWe group. Link is in the video description, not the post on my MeWe. I don't know why I did this. I have here my MeWe page, but it's the MeWe group. Group members can enter, and you're going to enter the code MeWe is greater than Facebook. And because we all know it is. So that's why I can't have these here on Facebook, or these giveaways on Facebook, because I can't trust them not to delete my account during the giveaway. So not because of the giveaway, that's just Facebook. Oh, we're gonna hear MeWe notifications all night because I have this open so I can keep an eye on the giveaway. But actually I should probably just mute my computer, huh? That would probably be wise. There we go. Hopefully I didn't just ruin anything. But so that is what the giveaway is going to be. You can enter once, and we're going to use a random number generator, and at about 9:30ish, right around there tonight, we'll go through and pick a winner and announce who it is here on the stream. Now, for those of you who are watching after the live stream is over, I think I'm going to have some giveaways over on MeWe too of our past like paint along videos, so they're not, you know, the best of the best, but they're still fun paintings if you wanted some of those, because I've got a lot of them. So I think what I'm going to do is do just some general giveaways, like randomly during the day. Some will be on my art page, some will be in the art group on MeWe. Just gonna get a few things out of the way too, because this is something that is asked a lot, and we are going to be painting in just a moment. Ooh, my hand is very colorful. Wait, itchy boy, stop. Good boy. Major allergies going on with the spring with this one. But anyway, one of the things a lot of people have been asking me is why I won't hold these on Facebook. And don't leave Facebook. It's the only app I use. I don't want to use another app. Yeah, I thought so too. Well, I already didn't like Facebook, but I thought so too till they deleted my account. It was only gone. They gave it to me a couple days later, but I've been finding out how often this happens, and people never get their accounts back who violated no rules. Mine wasn't violated for a giveaway or anything crazy like this. It was in no violation. It was an error on their part, and I cannot trust them to not delete it again. What if I'm in conversation with a customer? What if I'm talking with one of the brands I work with, like Frederick's or Derwent? I look really bad when my account just disappears and it says that member no longer exists. It looks like I did something wrong. They're going to be like, wow, what did she say? We don't want to work with her if she's saying offensive things. So I can't trust Facebook anymore. None of us can. Your personal accounts, they can be gone in an instant. And it happens to you guys. Have told me this, it is crazy to me how common this is. So I just want to make sure you guys understand. I'm not like abandoning Facebook because I randomly decided to. No, Facebook did this for us. So don't be mad at me. Be mad at Facebook. They're the ones that proved. I just can't trust them with my business, with them deleting. Like if I was having a giveaway and we've got all these entries coming in and then they ban me, I can't finish the giveaway that night. And this is just too common. So that is why we're doing this on MeWe. They will be held on MeWe. I've had a few people ask why I don't do the giveaways on Patreon. Yes, some people do giveaways on Patreon. They are in violation of Patreon's terms of service, and it's how I pay my bills. I'm not messing with that stuff. So you are not allowed to have giveaways because Patreon wants, if you have a reward, everyone under that tier gets that reward. Totally get it. Have no problem with it. So that is why giveaways aren't like Patreon. I don't have any Patreon exclusive giveaways or anything like that. I legally can't. So kind of get some of that out there, and hopefully that answers some of those questions. I'm sure they'll get brought up a few times during the video, but I wanted to throw that out there. That is why I've made the choices that I've made as far as why it's going to be on MeWe. Why I personally exclude, like I've had to log on to Facebook a couple of times. For various things. Like now I'll let people know when I have content on MeWe or on YouTube, but I won't post directly to like the platform, to like no new content over on Facebook for me. Learn my lesson. So, and they do this all the time to people. That's the thing. Like we think, oh, it was a one-off. It's not going to happen. No, it apparently happens a lot. And I'm done. So anyway, we're done with that whole thing. Let me grab my paint over here. So if anyone asks during the live stream, if you guys in chat want to let them know what happened, why I made this choice. Let's see. What color do I want? What colors do I have? Normally, I think I have an ultramarine in this. Yeah, maybe I'll go with phthalo. Do I have? I'm low on phthalo, so we're going to go with primary blue. So here's a funny thing when people ask about colors and they worry a lot about which colors to choose. I'm choosing the color based on, hey, this one's full, my other one's kind of empty. We'll go with phthalo, with primary instead of phthalo or ultramarine. I would have preferred ultramarine. This will work though. So I'm going to do primary blue, and I'm going to have kind of aqua in the middle, but that will come later. So we're just going to start with a base layer of this, and we'll be chatting. Again, if you want to enter the contest, head over to our MeWe page. Link is in the video description. Our MeWe, not my page, that's the wrong word, our MeWe art group, and enter just MeWe over Facebook. That is the code. Also, actually, if you haven't already, go edit your comment. Let me know what state this will be shipped to, because I want to just verify that the entries are going to be, you know, it has to be shipped to the US. Whoa, that's some lightning out there. Look, I complained about Facebook ruining the giveaway, and it may be the lightning that causes me to have the power go out. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Okay, so I just got condensation on my hand, clapped my hand, sprayed myself in the face with condensation. Condensation that was on my hands from my iced coffee. That was a new one, even for me. Okay, do I have a clean brush that I want to use? That'll work. This one is a Simply Simmons Taklon Bristled Filbert, so rounded. Now typically, if I want to do a painting where I don't want a ton of brush strokes, if I'm working in acrylics, I really like the filberts more so than a flat. So these are both Taklon bristled brushes, so that the texture is, one's white, one's gold, so a little bit different, but pretty close. But the rounded one, what'll happen is the rounded one, when I make a brush stroke, the brush stroke's going to be softer. The square one, ended one, will have, or flat, will have harsh start and stop points. The lines will be more defined than with the rounded. So that's why I like the Taklon bristled filbert, so rounded filbert, more when I'm painting. You will not see me use a flat that often because I paint a lot of things with nature, so we want that softer look. This is my go-to brush. So tonight's giveaway is sponsored by Fredericks. They provided us with a canvas that I will be painting on and giving to you guys. Fredericks is the only brand of canvas that I use. It's been the only brand of canvas I've used for very, very many years because I had a lot of problems with other brands, so I switched 100% to Fredericks, and then about 6 months later they contacted me and started a sponsorship thing. So that worked out really well because I had already like completely sworn off everything. Like Fredericks was the one I knew I could always trust. So that is what we're going with. So I'm going to add some water to my paint, and we're just going to slop that on there. It does not need to be anything fancy. You can go with any color you want if you're following along. You could do this with purples, anything really. Heck, maybe I'll throw some purples in there. Why not? Let's get some deep violet, which mixed in, and now we have what looks like dioxazine purple. Whatever, it'll be cute. I'll have to adjust the color on this a little bit as we get going because that's really bright and not what mine looks like. The joys of webcams. I'm really looking forward to the day where webcams are, I don't know what people who get good video webcam are using because it's clearly not what I'm using. They're just so not good. I did get a cam link, so it's like an adapter that would let you use a DSLR but to live stream, but I didn't have good results with it. And then I think because the camera I was using was too old, so I may need to look into that because maybe that with another we'll have to do so. I'm going to need to do a little bit of research. I don't know why. Well, actually, I know why I haven't done the research yet. It just takes time. So I'm going to throw some more deep violet in there. Let that mix in with my blue. And a lot of this, I am going to be airbrushing tonight, but I will tell you how to do this without airbrushing. It's actually very easy. You don't need to do the airbrush section. Now, I think I will leave this dark, and then when I come back through with the white, with the airbrush, I will lighten it up. So if you are not using an airbrush, what I would recommend doing is make this a little bit lighter than what you think you want your end result to be, because that's going to make your dark trees. We're going to be painting black palm trees against this, and we want those to really pop. So make your background a little bit lighter. Now in my case, because I'm going to be going over this with an airbrush with white paint, I am going to be lightening mine up a lot. Now what I'm using is a mop brush. Well, technically it's a blush brush, so a makeup brush. They don't shed like actual mop brushes. So if you get a mop brush that's for painting, they shed like crazy. So these guys typically don't shed, and so it just makes my life a little easier. So I'm gonna make mine nice and smooth. And then we need that to dry before we do the next step. So I'm gonna go ahead now with acrylics, get in the good, this is not what this looks like. Wow, on camera, this is so blown out. We're gonna fix this in a minute. But on wow, even my hand changed colors now without not being against the light. The next step you wanna do before you even bother drying this, wash your brushes. So with the mop brush, all I have to do is rinse out the tips of the brush. I don't need to dip the whole thing in water. It's gonna take too long to dry. So we should only have paint on the tips of the bristles. So, oh, I did not clean my water since the last time I painted. That's unfortunate. I got muddy water over here. This is acrylics, it's not that big of a deal, but let's go ahead and rinse that out and then make sure I get all of that paint off there. And I just roll it in circles on paper towels. Get that dried off so it's ready to go if I need it again. Now another tip, if your water gets dirty really fast, take your brush, wipe the paint off on a paper towel before you rinse it in your dirty water rinsing cup. Dirty water rinser? I don't know. I'm making crap up. But if you do that, that'll make the water not get as dirty as fast. Now with acrylics, it's not like watercolor where your water needs to be super clean. It really doesn't. You can have it be pretty much mud and it'll still work with acrylics, but that's one tip to make it last a little bit longer before you have to rinse it out. Okay, I'm gonna let that set. I'm gonna get caught up on some questions here. Hi, Sheila. I haven't read anything yet today. Okay, Nick said audio video is good. Joseph said I had to say the thumbnail threw me. Wasn't sure it was you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change my thumbnails. I don't like the layout I've been using. They're very, looks like a kid in MS Paint. So I'm gonna try, I like the newer one. I was kind of playing around with some designs. The Colored Pencil Friday one stayed the same so that it was like uniform for that series. But then I think I'm gonna switch. I liked this one a bit better. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm playing around with things. At least I kept the colors in teal, so that part went with my brand. Let's see. Now for these videos, just a reminder, this is going, or I talk a lot in these. These are artist hangouts where I get to hang out, chat with you guys. If you've emailed me or sent me a private message, it may take a month if I ever get back to you. Those of you on Patreon just found that out because I finally got caught up on some of those messages today. But it takes a really long time. I just don't have time, unfortunately. So, oh wow, it is dark outside right now. It's stormy. But anyway, brain shut off. Oh, so these are the time I get to chat with you guys, answer questions and all of that. That is what this video is. If you're looking for a straight tutorial, head over to Patreon or Subscribestar. That is hard to say fast. Links are in the video description. For as little as $4 a month, you get access to all of my longer tutorials where it's just straight the tutorial, not me rambling like this. I also talk slower because it's a slower, mostly real time or very slowly sped up. So there we go. Let's see. Yes, please like this video. God, I can't talk. Like this video. I got a good amount of sleep. There's no excuse for me being so issued. I'm issued right now. Let's go ahead and dry this. I'm going to take the hairdryer. Plug your ears. It's about to get loud. That's a little bit closer to what this looks like. Kinda. Webcams. Let's see. Remember, if you want to enter the contest, link is in the video description to our MeWe art group, and the code to enter is MeWe is greater than Facebook, along with whatever state this would be sent to, because this is US only that I'll send these to. So hopefully you guys who are out of the US have friends who can ship it to you if you use their address. Sheila said, sorry, but I wonder what we're painting tonight. We are painting, in the link, also in the video description, you can get this image over at Patreon. Yes, there it is. It's public. My brain is not working. What the heck? So I think I have too much going on with it. All the research I've been doing for reef tanks and frogs, and it's like I think I filled it too full, and now it's just I'm glitching as bad as my frog. But anyway, this one is going to be palm trees. It's a night, like a summer night scene. So we're going to do a little galaxy in the background, and yeah, that is the plan for this one. The video or the image is over on Patreon. Probably should have put it here instead of the hound cam, being that they don't really do anything, but whatever, that's what we've got. Phyllis said, I just got a notice from Patreon that my payment wouldn't go through. That's because my credit card was hacked and the number changed. I forgot. Sorry, redo. Oh no! If you have any problems with, like, if it doesn't go in time or something happens where it didn't, because we're at the end of the month, if it doesn't, because I think you get postcards, don't you? Let me know and I'll make sure we get that worked out. Dee said, does weather affect you? No, warmth makes me happier. Cold makes me very unhappy, but that's about the extent. I don't do well if I'm in the sun for very long, but that was definitely not the case today. Let's see. Although, you know what, I wonder if the caffeine is affecting me more, because I kind of backed way down on how much I'm having a day, and today I'm having an extra cup, so maybe that's, no, I haven't even drank it yet. That couldn't be it. I don't know. I got nothing. I'm just grasping at random straws. Okay, so the texture this is called FX Texture, the stencil that I use to do my galaxies with. The problem is it is no longer available on Amazon. I'm not sure where you can get this from, but you can do a Google search. It's called FX Texture, and it is actually, that's all three of them. So this is what I do to get that texture. Now you don't need these. You can hand paint these in if you are not airbrushing it. You won't believe how much easier it is with an airbrush. But if you are not airbrushing, you could sit through, and I'm going to do one little piece so I can kind of show you how I would do that if I wasn't using this, but it's a long process, so we want to actually finish this tonight. I'll be airbrushing, but let me show you really quickly a method that you could do to get a very similar look. Let's see. My brushes are all over the place right now. I did a lot of painting this week. Okay. So I'm going to do this with just white. We'll keep it easy, even though, and this is going to be the same, I'm going to show you again, this is if you're painting by hand with a brush versus the airbrush. Do it with white either way, and when it dries, you can glaze a color over it. Just make it easier for yourself, rather than trying to mix the perfect color, make it opaque enough, it still look good, you're probably going to end up glazing either way. Just let's make this easier. So if I want to make a little galaxy guy coming down, I can put, ooh, that has too much water. To a translucent. Let me reload that brush. We don't want it that see-through. That would not have blended well. You can put a little mark, take a brush that's slightly damp, and I'm just going to kind of break that up, smudge it out. Do another one kind of next to it. So what we're doing, we want to get this look where it's almost veining. Smudge that down. Do another one over here. You want it to be fairly random shapes, but notice as I build this up, I keep one edge that's a little bit harsher. So I don't really want to zoom in too much. You can see how we've got a slightly harsher section in the middle. So you can continue that. You can do that at a much smaller size. You can do it bigger, but this is how you would do that, or how I would do it if I were to hand paint this without using the airbrush. I'm going to show you how fast. I'm basically going to cheat right now because it's so fast. It feels like cheating. It not really isn't. You can't cheat with art, but unless you're violating someone's copyright, then that's an issue. I think that's like one of the only ways you can cheat when it comes to art. Okay, let's see, coffee, because apparently I haven't had enough. Make sure if you have a question for me, do the @Lachri Fine Art. It'll highlight my name in orange, otherwise I just don't see it. Wow, that was bright lightning. I hope that's not too close. Dee said, does weather, okay, I got that one. Jason said, Lisa, how was your time with your parents? It was amazing, and I want them to live here, but they're not going to anytime soon. They keep teasing me, like hinting they'd like to leave California, or not hinting, just saying they would, and then they want to look at houses, but then they do. I don't think they'll ever leave California. I want them to, but I don't think they will. So yeah, it was amazing. The good thing, well, good. My mom, it looks like, is going to have to go on disability. I mean, she's older. She's already getting close to the age of retiring, but she has a bunch of major health issues that have come up. And so she may have more time that I can fly her out here so she can stay for visits that she normally never had time for before. My mom has been the hardest worker of just about anyone I've ever met. She's been working since she was 16. Never had breaks, never took, like, she doesn't really, her vacations are like taking a weekend off. Like, she just doesn't take time. And even when she does, like, she can't sit, well, she can't sit for long periods of time. She has the same ankylosing spondylitis, the back problem I do. So, and it's worse if you sit, so it's better if you're walking a lot. So she is always moving, always. My mom is so active. But yeah, so I'm hoping that she will be able, I'm looking for my white airbrush paint, which I have apparently lost. There it is. Hoping she will come visit more often now that she's, I don't know if she'll be on permanent disability. They're not sure what the doctor's doing. The doctor seems to think she's not going back to work anytime soon. So, but we'll have to see how that goes. Now, where is my water? Hold on. I don't have everything ready. 1 second. I think I left it in the other room. Stay. Yeah, like you two are getting up, huh? Remember, if you want to enter for a chance to win this painting, you are in the U.S. or you have a U.S. address, someone, family, friend that you can send it to, you can enter over at our MeWe group. Code word is MeWe. Sorry, I almost did it backwards. MeWe over Facebook. Also, if you're new to MeWe and you're like, wow, there's not a lot going on over here because none of my friends or family are here, just join a bunch of art, like you've got art groups, you've got different pet groups. You can actually sell pets on MeWe. You can't do that on Facebook. So, you know, you don't get your account banned for them thinking you're selling a pet when it's actually a painting of a dog. Good job, Facebook, for keeping everyone safe. Well, they sold out a large portion of Facebook to PETA. That's what happened there. But anyway, yeah, whatever. But joining different pet groups, art groups, whatever you're interested in. And I need to do another post because one of the things that's kind of weird with MeWe, when you sign up, like let's say you wanted to make your own group, you're into motorcycles. And you want to make a motorcycle group. You have to have like 5 members before they'll make the group public. So I need to do another post where everyone can share their own group. So if anyone else wanted to join, we'll advertise that in our group. So you guys can share that. We've done that once before, but that way it's easier for you to get that group started if some of us join with you first. So I'll get that going probably tomorrow. Let's see. Where were we? Ace of Babes said, how is your cockatiel doing? He is great. He's adorable. He's loud. He was singing like crazy earlier, his little Game of Thrones obsession. And just like the show, he ruins the end of that song. So, you know, I just think it's so ridiculously fitting that Chicken ruins the end of Game of Thrones. I'm not correcting him. I think it's better his way. Okay, so let's go with these two. You can use these stenciled textures if you can find them. Again, they're called Texture FX. I do have somebody who is going to work with me on making my own, so maybe I'll get that going. But you can use this if you wanted to make like kind of a surreal looking tree. It's kind of neat. I've never done it for trees. It's a little too stencil-y for me there, but for the galaxies and such, I think they look really good. Throwing things on the floor. Hold on. Oh gosh, that sticks to the carpet. Ew. Okay, that was almost like Velcro. Which one do I want? I'm looking at the design on these. Let's actually use them both. So one of the things that we want to do on our background here, because we are going to be painting black palm trees, that silhouette, we want our background to be quite a bit lighter so that the black will really stand out. And in my case, I want fairly dark. So let's start this. Cat's Art Pig said, how can I find your art group on MeWe? Link is in the video description. I like your question. It almost like set me up to be able to say that. Thank you. So all I have to do is come over this, and there's my galaxy. See what I mean? It's so much easier than hand painting it. You can hand paint it, but oh man, does this make life easier. So if I want it softer, like here, I want to get that texture without it going too close. I just hold it away a little bit of a distance and don't spray as hard. If I want super sharp detail, I'm going to put this to where it's touching, like it's really up against it, and go a little heavier. And that gives me that more defined shape. So I can get that soft. I'll do that down here too. Let's flip this over at a bit of a distance. And see, you just get this really soft, almost like clouded look. Push down harder or keep it closer, and you get a bit more definition. get a little bit tighter in here. I'm liking it. Okay. So this is the Grex airbrush. I don't think I linked that in my description. This is the Grex airbrush kit that I'm using. I do have videos showing how I use that and the whole review with that. I just didn't think to link that. Now I want to make mine a little bit lighter here. So I'm just going to go ahead and airbrush white right on over that now. I'm going to go ahead and clean this out. Where is my water bottle? Now I do the stars in two layers. Some of the stars I'm going to want to be bright white. Some of them I want to be more toned down so they look like they're in the distance. So before I airbrush the color over this, I'm going to go ahead and splatter some stars on now. That way when I glaze, it gives me that nice, here. It gives me that nice, two tones of stars without having to actually mix two different tones of stars. I just do them both in white, but when I glaze, that's what tones it down. Doing everything just white and then either glazing if you're hand painting or airbrushing over it, man, does it save time. Okay. Yeah, Clark Reinhardt said that stencil is amazing. It really is, and I need to see where else it's available or just come up with my own design because I have a friend who has a machine to make those, so they talked about marketing those, and selling those with my name on it, so which would be cool because then they'd be the design I want. So yeah, we definitely need to do that. Can I post Chicken singing, please? I need to get a good video. I need to get some of him. I need to get some of Nugget doing his peekaboo. I need to spend some time filming the chickens. I don't know why I don't get around to it. I don't take my camera in there. Part of it too, that the chicken room is not it's not that aesthetically pleasing. My husband's responsibility. He doesn't have the same, he doesn't find it to be as important to make a room pretty as I do. And so when you film in there, it's like, wow, it looks very sterile. Those are some really white walls. But no decoration there. So yeah, I just don't find myself filming in there, but I need to get some of him because he's adorable. Okay, now I want to go with more of aqua tones. Let's see what airbrush paint I've got over here. Now my aqua, I believe, is a little bit on the opaque side. If I can find it. I've got a mess of my paint. Okay, it's actually called teal. If I'm gonna paint something for someone in the giveaway, we know I've got to have my teal. Let's see. Megan said, was so excited to see your new reef tank. I have a 35-gallon that just finished cycling. Can't wait to go get my first pair of clownfish the next week. How exciting! I'm obsessing right now over getting my quarantine tank set up. So I'm gonna do this right. I dealt with, when I got back into reef keeping in 2 years ago, I got the nano tank that I currently have. When I got into that, I started my adventure back into reef keeping with Brooklanella, and it's just crazy how prevalent parasites are now in reef keeping, much more so than there used to be. So, and it's just a part of the supply chain. No matter, it's not oh, that's a bad store you got it from. No, they're just that. Parasites are just crazy in the reef keeping world now. So, not that they weren't before, they're just way worse. They were always around, but now it's, yeah, Brooklanella wasn't even a thing in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'd never even heard of it before, so I was really surprised when I got it this time. So this time I'm using my current tank is going to be my coral and invertebrate quarantine, and the other Evo is I'm putting a second Evo in my bedroom. My bedroom's turning into animal quarantine station, but whatever. So I'm setting that up this week, or starting with that. That one's gonna quarantine fish. So I'm obsessively reading nonstop about quarantine. If you look at humblefish.com, I think that's it. Humblefish is his name. I just Google Humblefish. He has a really elaborate quarantine procedure or protocol that I'm gonna be following. So, oh, thunder. If that gets too bad, we'll have to put Wade in his crate because he gets scared and tries to force his way behind my easel. That's not a safe place to hide. Okay. Wow. That thunder is still going. Holy crap. It's just letting up now. Wow. That is, yeah, I know. That one kind of got me too. You can't get back there though. So we're going to go over this. Yeah, this is definitely a bit more on the opaque side. Kind of good, but kind of not. So we'll use a combination of this. Oh, I actually meant to splatter my stars. I got out of order here. We'll do this. I think I'm going to come back through and make some of this a little bit more defined. This works though, because this gives me that lighter color that I was talking about wanting. It's actually really pretty. Go lay down, scared boy. Go be brave, boy, and lay down. Lay down, Wade. If it's too bad, I'll put you away. We'll get Dad to give you CBD oil. That seems to kind of work, but I don't know how much of it is the CBD oil with him. We got some for dogs. Or how much is just the fact that he's in his crate and he feels secure in there. Yeah, he's not going to lay down. Hold on one second. That thunder's too much for him. I'm going to go put him in his crate where he feels safe. Come on. I know you're scared. Come on. Come on. No, you're not. You're fine. Come on. There you go. Good boy. Here you go. Come on, Gibson. Come on. Lay down. That's where you're gonna lay? Whatever. Okay, he has to get a treat because Wade got a treat for going in his crate. So Gibson thinks if Wade gets one, he gets one, even though he's not scared. Whatever. Wade now will feel safer, so that's good. Okay, I'm gonna go with a deeper turquoise on here, but first I do want to remember the step of splattering paint. Let's see. Where are we? Melissa said, what do you use to clean your airbrush between colors and when finished so it won't clog? Good question. So I run water through it first. And then the second thing I use is the Createx airbrush paint or airbrush cleaner. I have one by Grex. I don't like the Grex one as much. I seem to have slightly better results. I don't know. Maybe it's just in my head. I just like this one better. So the Createx airbrush paint, and then I add, before I add the next color, I add a couple of drops of Airbrush Flow Improver. This is by Vallejo, and it's good. I think that's how you say that one. That one helps the airbrush not to clog. So though that routine works really well, and then every so often, ideally I would do this when I'm done painting for the night, but I never do. I clean the whole thing out, take it apart. I had to do it the other night because I hadn't cleaned it in way too long. So yeah, that is the process there. So when I flick the stars, ideally I want a very stiff brush. The more stiff, the better. Some people use toothbrushes for this. I can never get them loaded right. They're just a weird shape, so I don't like that. It's the right texture, wrong shape. So let me see if I've got a, here we go. So I'll take brushes that have been somewhat like this. I don't know if you can see. This is like stiff and crunchy and perfect for stars. I need that, and I need a palette knife, if I can find one. There we go. You could use your finger, but you could get paint all over yourself. Let's see. Andrea said, I bought the same stencil because, well, you recommended it. I love it, but tend to overuse it. I go crazy on my spaceless backgrounds. You know, I don't know that you can have too much space, so you're good. Phyllis said, I'm having trouble following all that action on that non-cam. Yeah, they're an active bunch, aren't they? Oh my gosh, the thunder's bad. Asa Babe said, I love birds. I have a little parrotlet, but cockatiels are just so sweet. Also, hello from Canada. Hello. We have a parrotlet too. We've got a parrotlet, that is Nugget. We've got Chicken, the cockatiel, and we have Sushi, the Indian ringneck. I have the worst habit of wanting to say Indian redneck. Like, I can't, my brain is like, I don't say ringneck, I think my family, redneck. Like, I just can't not say, that's just what comes out. I don't know why. So Indian ringneck. Even then, I just had, like, it's so hard for me to say. I don't get it. But yeah, those are, they're actually technically chicken bonded to me. He's supposed to be my husband's bird, but they're his babies. Hey, Chris, is it Chrysalida? I'm butchering names. That's what I do. I apologize. Dee said, hopefully no lightning strikes this time. Yeah, hopefully no, yeah, that was scary that night. The last time we had one of these, we had tornado warnings going. We had all kinds of crazy stuff. And lightning right after the live stream struck a house a few streets back. I mean, you could see the flames. I posted it over on MeWe. It was crazy. I'd never seen that before. Andrea said, I love a reef tank. I had one for many years, but I like the soft coral or most like the more colorful hard coral. I think soft coral has great movement and water flow. Softies are what I'm going for. I don't even know if I'm going to go with LPS. I may throw a couple in there, but mushrooms. Mushrooms are my favorite. So I'm going to do mushrooms, zoas, and maybe some clove polyps. Maybe, I don't know if I'll do a leather or not. I'm not sure where, actually I have room this time. I did not have room for a leather in my last tank. So real quick, this is just white paint, a little bit of water, and we're just going to flick that for stars before I do the next round of glazing. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Plus the hard corals are a lot more demanding on keeping your levels and everything exact. The soft corals are like, what, your water's dirty? We love it here. So, not all of them, but mostly mushrooms and such. So yeah, that is my plan. I'm definitely partial to softies. Let's see. Whoops, that just jumped. Where were we? EOS Love said, have you tried Jackson's Galaxy Spirit Essence for Dogs? I have not. I don't even know what that is. Tell me more. Julie said, it is amazing what we have to do to make our fur babies happy. He's such a sweet boy. I just hate to see him that scared. And he'll start trying to force himself under, if you're at a desk, at a table, he tries to get under to hide. And it's just so sad. You put him in his crate and he just seems so much more comfortable in there. He just needs a little cave to feel safe in whenever thunder happens. And he's pretty good, trash trucks, other noises don't scare him. It's thunder, and he's not that bad. Some dogs have full panic, so I'm glad he's not that bad. Karen said, Jackson Galaxy is great. I need to know more. Let's see. Karen said, I've loved mushrooms since the 60s. Cat's Art Pick said, I just joined MeWe and I'm so lost. It won't take you too long to get the hang of it. It's not that different than Facebook. It's just better. So yeah, it shouldn't take you long to get the hang of everything. Let's see. Melissa said, what do you feed your chickens? Certain type of pellet seed fresh. So I do seed. I don't agree with, I don't believe pellets are, I know I'm going to be the outlier here. Pellets were a newer thing that came, they started getting popular in the 90s and they just kept getting more and more popular. That's essentially kibble. I don't feed kibble to my dogs. I'm not feeding kibble to my chickens. Because kibble in dog food, do your own research. And I don't mean talk to your vet because they don't, most vets don't study, and I'm not bashing vets, just most vets don't study animal nutrition. It's like one day class. It's not a big part of their studies. So I do recommend, just do your research. But anyway, kibble, because of the heat that it's raised to, it's carcinogenic, all of it, even the good ones. So canned food would be better in most cases than kibble. And the whole kibble keeps their teeth clean. No, it doesn't. But anyway, any person with a small dog can tell you that. So yeah, that's why I don't feed kibble to my dogs. And so I'm not feeding kibble to the birds. I feel seed is more natural. But the majority, other than chicken doesn't really like the fresh stuff as much because cockatiels are just weird. He gets it. He just doesn't eat it as much. But nugget and sushi, the majority of their diet, it's a mixture that you can get where it's oats and it has some seeds and millet and stuff. And vegetables and all, what is it called? Bird Street Bistro is the name. You can look that up. They get that and they get mostly fruits and veggies though. Lots of veggies. That's the majority of their diet. So that is, yeah, I just can't. And it's funny because everyone's on this hole with birds, the kibbles, the pellets, some of their food, they'll get a little bit, but I don't want that to be the majority of their diet. I just don't. I'm not convinced it's as healthy as a lot of people are convinced it is. So this one is the darker turquoise phthalo, and I am using Golden's airbrush paints tonight. Let's get that a little bit darker. Oh, I thought I was going to go over this with white, but I don't know that I need to. I think that actually looks pretty. Get a little darker here around the edge. Maybe a little more contrast with white. May as well. It's fun. Let's see. Friends said, Ditto, totally lost. It really does. The more you use it, I promise it gets easier. Especially when you realize how similar it is to Facebook. You've got groups, you've got pages, it's better though the way it's organized. And the thing that's really cool with MeWe is where's my water? Again, I lost it. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. The thing that's really cool with MeWe is you can change your settings so you can see things by the most recent post or chronological order, which is what I do. So when someone posts something, a page I follow, a group, it all shows. It's not going by Facebook's screwed up freaking algorithm where Facebook decides what you get to see, and and with Facebook, every fourth post is an ad. So unless you jump through, so this is, and I've been trying to figure out, why is it that MeWe, the feel on MeWe is everyone's kinder to each other, it's more relaxed, whereas Facebook, every post devolves into name calling. Everyone's so nasty to people on Facebook. Like, it's crazy how bad it is. And on MeWe, like, someone can have a disagreement on like the health of frogs, and it's a nice discussion bringing up different ideas and different points of view, and the feel is very different, and I think I figured out what it might be. So Facebook favors, and this isn't because they're like evil and trying to do something nefarious, it's just the way the algorithm works. It favors drama. The more drama, the more negative, the more comments that post gets, the higher it gets boosted on their algorithm. So negative things are going to get the most views. They're going to come up first on your feed. Whereas positive, calm things don't get as many responses because people aren't being mean to each other, and those fall in the thing. And I think that is the thing that is making the difference, and why MeWe seems like adult conversation, being like, it's just normal. It's crazy to me, the difference in discussion. I have not seen a single thing in a group devolve where people were name calling or being mean to each other. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm assuming, human nature, it probably does. But it's, what am I looking for? This. It's just crazy to me, the difference in the feel. And I think that it's that the algorithm feeds negativity. And that is just Facebook. And I think that I was like, well, is it because more people are there? No. Because these same people could be over, like, I think that that's what it is that the algorithm naturally favors drama. And YouTube's the same way. If you look at my videos, the ones that get the views are going to be anything that has, like, oh, that's kind of drama related, like what's going on with Facebook. That video performed crazy well for me, where a painting video isn't going to get as many views. And I understand why, but that's the way that these algorithms are working. So if posts are more likely to be seen if you say something dramatic, that's what people are going to do to get more views. And I think that is just feeding it. So that is my theory. I don't know if it's true. I think it is, because, I think I'm a genius. But yeah, it was a really odd, I need the other stencil. Where is it? I guess this one can work. I wanted the little one. Where did my little one go? I am missing, oh, that's right in front of me. This one. But yeah, really, really odd, the difference of it. But you still have your groups, you still have your pages, but you get to see things in chronological order. So I'm not missing things my friends and family posted, if they were on there. Half of them aren't, more than half of them aren't. I wouldn't miss anything somebody I want to follow post, or a business. Let's say I want to know what Colored Pencil Magazine has going on. I'm going to see it without them being required to pay Facebook to share content. So that's a big deal to me anyway. I think that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit more here. I like it. Okay. Let's put this down. So anyway, if you think of it though as being pretty much the same as far as you've got pages, you've got groups, and you've got individual accounts, it's not that, it won't take you long to get the hang of it. So what I'm doing, I'm done with the airbrush for tonight. So, oops, I got paint all over this thing. So I'm just going to spray the water through. Oh, hold on. I forgot to turn my messages. 1 second. Make sure that's nothing I need to respond to immediately. Nope, I'm good. Okay, wait, nope. Clear that out. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Okay, Eo said, spirit essences are holistic solutions to assist your pet with certain issues. They have one for storm soother. Ooh, okay. Can somebody message me that, or private message me over on Facebook, or not Facebook, I won't see that. I'm so used to saying Facebook. Over on MeWe or something, because I'm going to forget. I don't have a thing to write down right now. I actually need to look into this. Karen said, I can feel it. The energy is different here. Yeah, it's crazy, and I really do think it's the algorithm thing. Susan said, a bonus with MeWe, I suggested they remove chat notification for new ads, particularly public figures. I'm never going to message them. They actually acted on my suggestion. That is awesome. See, and yeah, I'm so impressed with that platform. Let's see. Andrea said, my brother just went through what you did on Facebook. He did the whole picture thing. They still banned him. I told him to join MeWe. He did, but all his friends won't follow. You know, it kind of makes you like question, like, how good of friends were we? So one of my friends, she was local to me, sweetest girl in the world. Like, she's one of those people you're like, you're just genuinely a sweet person. You are not like me. You are a much better person than I am. So this is this girl, but she messaged me some nail party that was going on Facebook. Her friend was having it. I'm like, I won't participate in anything with Facebook anymore. And the only reason I saw her message is I had to check my fish messages because of the tank being set up, and that's the only contact I have with some of the people. So anyway, I let her know I won't see your messages and I'm not joining another group because I won't participate. And she was like, well, I don't want to join another platform. And it's like, you say that now, but one, how good of friends are we is that you can't download it's not like some random platform. MeWe's been here for years. It's a good one. And we're good friends, but you can't really knowing that they deleted my account, and it's like, they'll delete yours too. The fact that everyone seems to think that they're safe, whoa, that was some serious lightning. The fact that everyone seems to think that they're safe over on Facebook from, like, I won't get deleted, just wait. If they got me, like, seriously, I keep that account so clean and so good, and it doesn't matter. And so I was like, we're good friends, yet you won't follow me over on, and she finally was like, why aren't we just texting anyway? I'm like, exactly. So we just went back to texting, which is funny. But no, you have to wonder when people are so like, no, Facebook Kool-Aid, I'm stuck here. It's like, until they ban your account too. It's going like, I don't get it. I mean, sort of I get it, because I guess I was doing the same thing too until I guess happened personally. So maybe I'm being a little bit hypocritical there, aren't I? Karen said, I also found when out and about in person, everybody has been nicer and more courteous since the pandemic. Anyone else find this? I've kind of found the opposite. Well, what I have found is people don't want to make eye contact. People don't want to talk to somebody or a stranger. Like here in Texas, that's one of the things I liked. Everyone was so friendly here, not like California. And since the pandemic, it seems like everyone's like, do you have the zombie virus? Step away, stay away. So I found it kind of to be a little bit different, at least in public. Oh, that's gonna splatter too much. There we go. I think I got a little too much water on there, but yeah, I kind of found a little bit different. Unless, did I just read that right? Oh, everybody's been nicer. Okay, and courteous since, yeah, I don't know that I would say that's been my experience. I found that people are more, even online, everyone seems to be understandably frustrated and just not happy in general and taking it out on everyone they come across. And then in public, it's a little bit weird. Although I went to Callaway's. I met a nice lady yesterday was it yesterday? Day before. I don't know, I got a new pot was that yesterday? It feels like it was so long ago. I do too much stuff. But anyway, I had to get a new pot for my bougainvillea. I'm going to sort of bonsai it. Like I'm going to bonsai it, but I didn't get a full bonsai pot because that lightning. Anyway, I was there getting that, and I struck up a conversation with a lady. She was when we were in line, super, super friendly. So I don't know, I guess it just depends, but yeah, overall, I would say most people have been a little weird. Karen said, all good artists are genius. Oh, where are we? There we go. Ace of Spades said, on the topic of birds, when you do oil paintings and need to use chemicals to clean your brushes, how do you protect the birds? I want to try oils, but worried about fumes. They're in a completely other area of the house. They come nowhere near my studio, and they're not allowed in the studio until the painting has been dry for like at least a week. If I can smell anything, they don't come in here. So I don't oil paint that often, but that is a big deal. Like if I'm airbrushing, they're not coming in here because I don't want that to coat or mess up their lungs. Their whole respiratory system is very sensitive. So yeah, they're nowhere near my studio when I paint. Now, I did have a canary and then a cockatiel back when I was in California I had a very small apartment. It was like, I don't know, under 700 square feet. And so it was 1-bedroom apartment. The canary and the cockatiel were in the bedroom, and like right there, like, God, how many feet? Maybe 20 feet away is my area where I painted. Now, we always kept the door closed and the birds never had a problem. And canaries are going to be canary in a minefield. So, minefield? No, canary in a coal mine. Not the same thing at all. The canary's not going to do you any good in a minefield. But, I guess it could. Anyway, moving on. They never had any problems there. They were perfectly fine. I just kept them away, like kept the door closed and kept them away. Would I be, I don't even know if now I'm even more paranoid. I'm not sure if I would be comfortable with them being that close, but that kind of gives you an idea. Let's see. Joseph said, when Facebook shows me those things where they suggest you boost your post, I report it now and write, extortion is still illegal in the US. That's awesome. Yeah, you know what I did? Because I didn't want to get in the habit of using Facebook regularly, I put it in my junk folder on my phone. So I have to click the apps thing because it used to be on my homepage, so I quickly was constantly checking it. I have to click, it's like 1, 2, 3 steps to get Facebook open now. So I'll check it because if I have to check a message or whatever, but it broke my habit. I don't even look at Facebook most days. And when I do, I usually regret it. It's so negative there. Daniela said, loving these galaxy themed videos, giving me inspiration for my kids' mural, so thank you. Where did you get that awesome stencil? Sorry if you already mentioned it, just joining. So I got mine back years ago at Hobby Lobby. Then they had them on Amazon. I looked right now because I was going to put it in the description. It's not available there anymore, but it's called, if you look up FX Texture is what it's called. If you can find it somewhere, it is amazing, but I don't know where to get this. I don't know what the alternative is to that right now. I didn't know it was an issue until right before the live stream, so I'm going to have to see what we can find. Cat's Art Pick said, just finished posting some of my artwork. I'm getting the hang of MeWe. Thanks, Lisa. Yay! Okay. Karen's laughing at my minefield. I misspeak that. It's bad. Okay. So we've got to get some of the palm trees in here now. And you can really use any brush you want. I'm going to use a smaller... maybe not this small. Let's use a bigger brush for the initial laying it in, and then I'll switch to a smaller brush to make it look how I want. So I'm using, need to get some more paint out. That is drying up. I'm going to use Mars Black. Where is this? Remember, if you want to enter our giveaway, head over to MeWe, our art group. Link is in the video description. I just made eye contact with my microphone. That's helpful. The link is in the video description. You can enter there. The code to enter is MeWe is greater than Facebook. Let me know what state you're in. I can only ship this to Texas, or no, not Texas. You don't have to be in Texas. I can only ship this within the U.S. right now. So if you've got a friend who's in the U.S. who wants to send it to you, that works too. But yeah, that will be choosing the winner later tonight. Dear God, I cannot talk. Where is my black paint? It is probably sitting out in the open because I have to use it so often. Like right in front of me, and I am not seeing it. Where are you? If I would organize this, that would make things a little bit easier. I think it's here. Okay, I have to go on a hunt. Oh, found it. Is that the right one? Yeah, it's black. So I'm using Mars Black. It's more opaque. You can get lamp black or ivory black. It's a bit more translucent, not that nice neutral opaque black. Mars Black is my go-to in most cases. So we're going to create a little bit of a landmass at the bottom. Just going to dot that in, create a little bit of texture in there. And by texture, I mean more visual texture. It'll be smooth when it's dry. Don't let this. Let's go up a little bit higher here. I'll fill that in solid. The name of the stencil, FX Texture. Phyllis, oh no, you're not next, Phyllis. Well, we'll read you first. Said, I went to our big plant nursery today and found a very small princess plant you were talking about. You weren't kidding. A 4-inch pot with a tiny plant, 140. That's crazy. Yeah, actually, 140 is on the cheaper side. Most of them I've been seeing lately are closer to 400. It's crazy. And those ones are kind of annoying too because they'll revert. The pink princess does not want to hold its color. Like, you have to know when to trim it and what to do to keep it. Like, you can bring that back generally, but yeah, they're a bit dramatic for how expensive they are. I just can't justify it. I did buy myself a new, is it Calathea or Calathea? I've heard it said both ways, but I found one yesterday when I got my pot. I got a little one. It's really cute. It has little pink or magenta like stripes on it. I don't know what kind it is, but he's cute. Shannon said, the only use I have for Facebook is every few months I post something to stir the pot with my mother's crazy family just to watch the fireworks. They're all nuts, so it's easy and fun. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Ramona said the templates are available at Blick. Ooh, good to know. Yay. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Or looked that up. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, 140 for a pink princess. I'd almost be tempted at that price. They've gotten so expensive. So a lot of people, when the pandemic started, they started collecting plants that never did before. And so, like, yeah, finding stuff right now, it's just the demand is higher than what they can provide at this point. And just a quick little, don't get stuck by this or hit by this for those of you who like plants. You've got the pink princess, and then you've got a scam plant that is called the pink Congo. It is chemically, the pink in the pink Congo, very pretty. It's chemically induced. Within a year, you're back to a solid green plant, but they're charging pink princess prices. It's not a real, there is no pink Congo. It is completely chemically induced. Don't fall for that one, because you'll occasionally see those online, and it's beautiful when it has color, but it's not going to stay that. Definite scam. Okay, so I'm going to start by throwing in some tree trunks here. And now I'm using a flat brush. I just want to get nice. This one's actually flat synthetic hogger. See, mine is speaking tonight is weird. Maybe it is the storm, because the lightning makes me a little nervous. It just, I'm like, please don't start a fire this time. Please don't hit my house. So maybe that is what's making me have a worse time speaking than usual. I'm going to make these a little bit smaller as we go out here. I don't need these to be perfectly shaped. And I'm just loosely basing it off that photo. Again, it is over at patreon.com/Lachri. You can get this photo for free. It's not exact, doesn't need to be. This is going to be bigger. Let's start with that. I can add more if needed. And then I just use the same brush. You can use a liner if you want. I'm going to go ahead and get in the start of where I want my palm fronds to go. Now this is one that I tend to do these a little bit more stylized. I've been painting this type of palm tree for so long. I'm not going for super accurate here. Kim said, been a member of MeWe since January 2021, sometime back. Then Lisa had mentioned she found MeWe and liked it. I joined it and checked it out. Yeah, it's really good. Shannon said, good night for it. I'm wearing my Words Are Hard t-shirt. Nice. I ordered the Words Are Hard a tank top. It's like their loose, flowy tank top. Kind of like it. I wanted to try it out before I told you guys if I liked it or not. I did. I wore it to the zoo recently. It was very comfy. I want to get a few just kind of sticking up from here so it looks like they're kind of down. So we'll just have a few little guys sticking up that way. So we're just getting sort of the skeleton right now of the palm trees. Now here I do need to switch to a liner brush. These are getting a lot smaller. Where are my liners? Yes, don't forget to enter. If you want to enter our for a chance to win this over at MeWe, link is in the video description. It's on our art group. And to enter, you just need to use the code word MeWe over Facebook and what state you're in. I can only ship this in the US. Do you need to be 18 or older to enter, and void were prohibited and all the legal stuff. That legal stuff is over on MeWe. This is a synthetic hog-haired liner I'm using now. Susan said, Lisa, do you wipe down your stencil with Airbrush Cleaner after use? No, I figure it adds to the texture. No, I don't clean them. I don't clean these ones at all. If it's a plasticky one, I can kind of clean it, but these are almost more papery. They're weirdly like, I would have thought they were super cheap and wouldn't last long because it's almost like a laminate paper. It's not a plastic stencil like most of my stencils are. So I didn't think it would last this long. It has. I've used it for years, and I've used it a lot for years. So It lasted a lot longer than I thought it would, but no, wiping that, I'd be more likely, I think in the case of this stencil, I would probably hurt it. And I will be having during the week, so keep your eye out for it. Maybe I'll do one this week too. I'll have another giveaway. It'll be like a 24-hour thing, so that way if people are asleep, because I know these are weird hours for people, I can get some more chances to win over on MeWe for a different painting. I don't know what it'll be yet, but I know I have a lot from that looks terrible. Add another one over here. Make that bigger. Okay. So you've got a few ways that you can do the palm fronds. One, you can just sit there with the parts coming down with a liner brush and continue with that. So if I do that, I'm just going to take this, pushing harder where it's attached right here at that line. I'll push harder and lift the brush away from the canvas as I get to the end. So that way I get what we call kind of a dagger stroke, where it's thick and then gets thinner as we move away. And you're going to do a lot of those. So I'm lifting the brush away from the canvas towards the end of the brush stroke. And these are all going to be slightly curved, very wispy. Get some on both sides on that one. I've got a little bit too much water there, so it's a little too translucent. I need to fill some of that in a little thicker. Now another thing that you can do is, instead of using that brush, you can take either an old brush that's frayed, or in this case, I'll just use a rake brush because I've got a bunch of those out. I've got some different sizes over here. Let's see which one I want to go with. You look good. I have a video on using a rake brush with links to these very ones if you like them. So same thing, gonna thin my paint with a bit of water, and with the rake brush, gonna do that same thing where I'm pushing harder and lifting away, and see how wispy that looks? These are wonderful for this. Make sure that these are at least slightly curved. You don't want a bunch of really straight lines, or they just look too stiff. I'll throw a few in the background there. Fill in those in-between sections. Do you guys hear that thunder? It is like crazy how nonstop that is right now. Molly Spiner said, hi Lisa, signed up on MeWe, yay! What is the dried veggie mix you feed your fur babies? So I'm using one by, what is it, Dr. Harvey's Mix-In, and they've got a straight one that's grain-free, and then I've got the grain one I'm trying on right now to see if that was any better for Wade and his allergies in his ears and stuff. I think it made it worse, or it could be the grass that's making it worse. I don't know, when this one runs out, I think I'm gonna switch back to the grain-free and see how we go. Oddly enough, the one with grain, which has a lot of oats in it, Gibson's gas has not been as, his gas doesn't have an odor to it almost ever, but there's been no noise. Normally when he stretches, he always farts. Like, I'm like, if he does it on the live stream, people are gonna think it's me, because he can't not. Like, if he stretches, that is what happens. But since he's been on this one, the one with the grain, he hasn't. But both are Dr. Harvey's, I believe. And then that is mixed in with raw meat and fish oil and vitamin E. Brent Does Art said, the last time I painted a palm tree, I used a fan brush. It was okay, not great. It could work. It would be a little bit harder to control. I would definitely go with a rake brush over a fan brush. I've done it with a rake brush before. The rake brush works better if it's a really large painting. I find that is the only time those ever work well for me. Well, you know, work well in better than these, I should say. Erica said, are there any specialty acrylic paint brushes you recommend to have for your techniques, like any Willow's blenders or something? No, I actually am a big fan of kind of cheap brushes. I mean, one of them would be makeup brushes. Do I have one over here? Blush brushes. I use these as mop brushes. The longer the handle, the better. I do have some brushes that I really like, the generics from Hobby Lobby, which is weird because I normally do not like generic art supplies. I like those. So the generic don't get their generic canvases though. Those are crap. Those were what led me, those and Michaels and Aaron Brothers were what led me to like nothing but Fredericks for me moving forward. But their generic paint brushes I actually do like. And I use a combination of their synthetic hog hair, so it's like the ones listed for oil and acrylic, and then the acrylic ones are a bit softer. Those are going to be their Taklon bristled. I don't know that they've got them listed on the package as being Taklon or synthetic hog hair, but there's one's got a red package on it and one is a green package, if that helps, which ones I buy. But I like their synthetic hog haired liner brushes, the ones with the red package. And I'm not a huge fan of Hobby Lobby at this point because I don't like the way that them and Michaels, I'm actually not happy with either company. They got rid of their 40% coupons with the whole, we're going to lower all our prices, except then they didn't lower their prices. They just kept them high. So now they're so overpriced for stuff. Now, somebody who works for them said on one of my videos, I think they left a comment. They said that they were lowering prices, that it's just being done slowly, but trust her, she, works there and they're lowering them. Well, they're not lowering them fast enough that I have any reason to shop there at this point. So not good enough for me. So yeah, I'm really not impressed with their pricing structure right now. And I actually talked to a framer there recently who she's also not happy with the things that they're getting rid of a lot of art supplies and they're replacing them either with their generic stuff or just straight out getting rid of them. So their art department gets smaller and smaller and smaller constantly. Okay, I can go to Blick and get the name brand of the stuff I want, and it's cheaper. So you are, and even the girl I talked to had commented that they're essentially almost turning into nothing but a home decor store. So, and that seems to be what I'm noticing too. So yeah, I'm not currently a fan of their business model with some of these things at the moment. But yeah, anyway, moral of that story was I do like some of their brushes still, just not their other stuff. Let's see. Janet said, what do you have behind your canvas to protect your easel? It's the back of a big, huge sheet of, I'm guessing that this was either a giant sheet of tracing paper, like a pad. You know how the back of pads of paper come with that cardboard or like that hard, that's what this is. I've been using the same one for years. So yeah, I'm very high tech over here. Any cardboard or anything like that would work though. Where are we? Erica said, are there any, oh wait, got that one, because I like to read the same questions again. I can't pay attention to what I'm doing. Janet said, okay, got that one again. Leisha, what kind of rake brush are you using? So this one is called, this one's King Art. It's the 1/4 inch original, or 1/4 original gold. And I got this one, Filbert Grass Comb is what it's listed as. If you look up my video on a rake brush, I have a link to the exact ones that I got. But I think I got this, I'm pretty sure all of them I got from Amazon. Oh Lord, that whole sky lit up. Like, it didn't just light up, I saw that lightning. That was a bad one. Starving Artist Collective said, adding oats to your diet is really recommended for people with with gas problems, so it seems like a good for dogs too. Yeah, and I'm hoping that that's not why Wade's been itchier. I'm hoping it is the grass. I mean, not that I want him to be itchy, but I'm liking, like, this seems to work well for Gibson, but because of the way that the raw diet works and how I defrost the food, they both need to eat the same. So it's like balancing that out. I mean, allergies would come first, but I'm not sure if that's what's actually causing his problem or if it's more likely just the grass, because it came like, the timing was bad. I switched the food about the time the grass woke up or when spring started, so it may just be that. His allergies are nowhere near as bad as they were last year when we hadn't figured out the whole peanuts and coconut oil and all that causing issues for him. But he is itchier than he was in the winter. But like I said, it could just be, maybe it's not the food, just the grass could do it, because we know that he has grass allergies. Oh, that just jumped too far. Where were we? Let's see, Mona said, not only that, but they are changing labels and brands so that things are excluded from sales. I buy cake supplies and they found this in art and cake. They made, like, I used to work at Michaels. I ran their classroom back in 2007 was when I moved. No, 2008 I moved. So whatever, it was right around that time. And they started making some really bad choices, like choices that were not good for artists, whether it be the supplies that they carried or what they were doing to the classroom. Like, they were just making some unfortunate business choices that it's like the complaint, and this is what I was talking to the girl who worked at Hobby Lobby recently. The complaint is that you get people who work in the corporate office who have never worked in the store and they don't understand why things sell. Like, okay, this item may not sell a lot, but that's what brought people in, and then they bought a whole bunch of other crap. all they're looking at is all the other stuff they bought in that one item, not realizing that one item is why they came in, and then they impulse bought everything else. And the people in the corporate office don't see that. They're just like, oh, these things sell. Okay, yeah, but if you can't get them in the store initially with the one item that you think isn't as popular, they only bought one of those. The people who work in a lot of these corporate offices, they really should be required, and this is of all stores. This isn't just like an art supply store thing. Every store should be. I think that the people who work in the higher ups, before making some of these decisions, need to work in the store and see how and why things work. So they just make some decisions that you're like, that is not, their cause and causality are not matching up. Like they're thinking that something happens because A, when really it's happening because D, way down the road. Like they're not even close together. So yeah, and it's definitely a problem that people who work in corporate typically don't know anything about the stores, and then they make choices that affect the stores and affect, in turn, us as customers. Well, you're losing me. I don't go there much anymore. They hardly have any open frames anymore. That was a big one. I came into Hobby Lobby, and so if I went in to buy an open frame, I was also likely to buy a whole bunch of other crap that I didn't really need, but I'm there, so I'm going to probably buy that. They got rid of, they have like 4 different open frames. Only the black one comes in sizes I use. All the other ones are like these weird size. It was, they make these choices. You're just going, huh, someone needs to get fired. Someone who's probably paid way too much for the choices they're making because they're losing the company money. Oh, where am I? Sorry, this jumped. Melissa said, the fine art manager at my local Hobby Lobby admitted to me that they have discontinued Strathmore, Canson, and Arches papers. Now they'll only carry their store brand, and their store brand is, I almost swore, it's poop. The end. It is poop. All of their store brand supplies, the only thing I like are their paintbrushes. And even that, I like their paintbrushes, but they used to carry brands I liked better. It's just that, that's what was available, and I do like those now. But they got, whoops, that was way too thick of a brush stroke. They got rid of, and I heard this before from people who worked there when I was teaching. I taught there for a while, and I would hear from them too, same thing, that the art department just doesn't make much money. But that gets people into your store, and then they go buy all your home decor crap, which is like poor, cute stuff, poor quality, way overpriced quality. And it's like they don't look at the big picture. I mean, it seems like something that so many people do anyway. They only look at like the outside view and not the whole picture. They only look at one little aspect, and they don't consider everything else involved. And it's so frustrating. Like, yeah, it sounds like it makes sense on the surface, but there's way more to that than what they're realizing. My husband used to be a manager at GameStop, and that was a big one too. GameStop's done some weird stuff. GameStop treats their employees horribly, by the way. Do not work there. They have a reputation for that. But the things that they would do to try to make money were like, that doesn't make sense. You're losing out on, I don't know, just bad choices. Nick said, my dog gets spotty seasonal allergies in the early spring and late fall. Yeah, Jessie and Echo were the same around their paws, especially. Like where it touches the grass. So Jessie was really bad with the itchy feet. So I'm not quite at the stage where I'm ready to give up on the food with the oats, because, I mean, we'll see once spring ends if it. Well, he was itchy all summer last year too. He wasn't on this food. No, he was on the vegetable one last summer. I wanted to see though, because the vet had said that he had ear irritation in his ear, which would have been, go lay down, Gibson, would have been typically in a dog who's young, who doesn't. Gibson, no one needs to see that. We're not that kind of a show here. Thank you. But that's typically from diet. So usually, like if a young dog is having problems with their ears, I don't want to jump to medicating. I want to change the diet, because more often than not, that's really the base cause. And if you change the diet, that can fix it. Canada was notorious for this. So story time. I used to work at an animal hospital that was attached to the barn that bagged Canada. The owners of the pet store, it's a feed store in San Dimas, the owners of that were the owners of Canada. Like they were all associated, and they owned the building that this animal hospital was in. The animal hospital's no longer there, but they owned that. And so our animal, like that area, most people, like not most people, but we are talking insane amounts of people that came to our hospital also went to that pet store, and so they fed Canidae. Now on the bag, the Canidae dog food looks like it should be amazing. The ingredients are great. For some reason, we kept getting dogs, and we're talking young dogs, anywhere from puppies, so under a year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, non-stop ear infection, like constantly, in breeds that don't typically, like shepherds. You don't usually have ear infections in young shepherds. Or, you know, the like German shepherds, a prick-eared dog. So very, very unusual. And the one thing that the vet started noticing, they were all in Canidae. So he started having people switch. And it was a weird thing because we couldn't tell people don't feed Canidae because that's who owned the building and we would have gotten kicked out. It was a whole weird thing. But he would tell, you know, go ahead and try a different food. Let's just see if it's related to allergies with that. All the ears would clear up. And we're talking dogs who had been in for months being ear flushes and medication and nothing was fixing it. It was the food. So Echo, my Italian Greyhound that I used to have, when I got her from the breeder, she was 4 months old, and the breeder let me know I had to fly out to pick her up. She was in another state. And the breeder's like, she's coming with some eardrops. Because she had to get the health certificate to fly on the plane home. And so she said she had ear infection. I'm like, what are you feeding her? She's Canidae. Stop with the medication and switch her food. Sure enough, cleared up, never had a problem again. Like that's, I take that back. Actually, there were a couple of times where I tried different foods and she'd start shaking her head. Both her and Jessie would. Switch food, ear shake and stop, or head shake and stop. So yeah, if you have issues with the ears, that's going to be my first thing to try. Unless, I mean, there's certain breeds that are prone to that and then that's not the case. But give that a shot if your dog has ear issues. We found that out working there. Like, it was crazy. And what was really crazy, the guy who owned, one of the main guys, I think it was 2 guys who owned Canidae or 2 guys who owned the pet store. I forget I don't remember. This was back in 2000. So they had, one of them bred labs or golden retrievers. I forget which, one of the hunting breeds. And they were in, same thing, nonstop with ear infections, constantly in getting medication. And that was the one client we could never tell switch the food because we knew that would clear the dog's ears up. The owner's just like, I don't know why they always have, because you're feeding Canidae. Even me, I had a shepherd mix at the time, or my parents did, and we got Canidae for free working there. So I was like, sure, we'll try it on him. And they warned me, the vet warned, he goes, we've seen this problem. This is a known thing. If he starts shaking his head, we'll know why. Sure enough, I mean, it was well, that one was bad. It was within weeks he started having problems with his ears, and changed food, and it stopped. So sometimes these really like fancy foods, they look like good brands. We don't know what's in it. Now, one theory I had was that it was a fungal thing because the way they packed that, it was outside, it was dusty. California has, what do they call it? The Yellow Valley something. There's a mold in the air. And so I have to wonder if that's getting into the food because of the way that it's packaged, because you see this on some of the higher end foods. Well, the higher end foods aren't typically in as sterile of an environment as some of the lower end. So I don't know if that's it. That's just a random theory that I'm not super sold on that, but I wondered. It did, because it was a really, the conditions where it was being bagged they weren't clean. It was very dirty out there. That's actually where I met my art hero, Jaime Jimenez. He used to work for Canidae, bagging the food. That's how I know all this, or how I know some of this. Let's see. Heather said, if it wasn't for the fact that Michael's, Joann's, and Hobby Lobby has chocolate melts and candy making supplies, I would not be shopping at any of them. Jack Williams said, hello, it's 3 a.m. here in the UK, and I can't sleep, so I'm watching this. Nice. Well, you can take the advantage if you're 18 or older, and it's legal in your country to have well, no, you're in the UK. Never mind, you can't. You don't have, unless you know someone in the US that you can use their, that would ship it to you. Never mind. Moving on. I was going to tell you about the giveaway, but I'm not shipping out of the country right now. Let's see. Where am I? Questions jumped a whole bunch. There we go. Andrea said, those big stores have pretty much got rid of brand names. Unless I go to the Blick outlet store, it's not that far. I will drive there for better brands. I'm just ordering online now. I mean, as much as I like to support local stores, 1, they're a big chain, so I don't care if I'm supporting them anyway. 2, you don't have what I need. You don't have what I need, I don't shop at your store. Or you do have what I need and you're overcharging it, I don't shop at your store. Let's see. The Blick's is probably my favorite. Elaine said, I've had bad customer service at Jerry's. You know, it's interesting you say that because one of the things I like so much about Blick's is their customer service. I had one day, I screwed up my order and I'm trying to, this is what I was doing, the super, super starving artist thing. So it wasn't a case where I was like, oh, I needed this item too. I'll just order more stuff to get free shipping. I couldn't afford to order more stuff, but I needed one more tube of paint. I forget what it was. And so I called them. I was like, hey, I screwed this up. This is my fault. Can you add on this one item? I'll pay you right now. Just add it onto that order. And I called right after the order was placed. And I get a call back from a lady the next day, I think. It was on a Saturday. And she was the nicest lady. She was basically like, well, I'll have someone call you on Monday. The people who do this, you know, aren't here right now, blah, 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 super nice. I get a call back from her like a half an hour later. You know, I don't want a chance this getting messed up. I'm gonna do it for you right now. She added that, I mean, she went so out of her way to help me on that. I've also known Blick and Jerry's, I've had problems where paper didn't get shipped quite right or got bent. Both have been great about replacing it. I think I have had to do it more with Blick, but they're so easy to deal with their customer service. And part of me, this sounds bad, I almost sometimes am happy when they send me paper that's damaged because they're going to send me paper that's not damaged and they tell you to keep or dispose of the paper that is damaged and I can cut off the good part, or, you know, separate the good part from the bad part in most cases. So sometimes I'll get to use it either for scratch or whatever. It just, you know, you get a bonus in that their screw up. I mean, I wouldn't, in that you're like, well, why wouldn't you just pay for it if you're, I'm not paying full price for partially damaged paper. The paper I buy is too expensive for that, but it is kind of a nice thing. Also, this painting is done. So make sure you enter the giveaway. We're going to sit here and chat. We'll be choosing the winner in a little while. Can you see? I love this. This type of painting makes me so happy. I do need to sign it still. We'll do that. Let's see. Yeah, Elaine said my dog is allergic to Canada. Most are. And I don't know why. It's so... Yeah, Patty Picasso said, is lightning the reflection behind the dogs? Yeah. Oh, you can see it. Okay, you do. Yes, that is the lightning. Andrea said, it's storming here, and also, boy, can you smell my chocolate lab when he comes back in after being in the rain. Talking about wet dog smell. Luckily, sighthounds don't smell too wet dog. We used to have my mom used to breed bassets. Oh, that is the worst wet dog smell. Basset hounds I don't know why. She was clean. It just bassets. Man, some breeds sure do smell. Let's see. Gail said, random bird question. In your opinion, what essential oils or Scentsy products are considered safe for birds? My bird is comparable to a cockatiel. I don't put any scented things around the birds. So they have their own room, so that may make it different for you, but they don't have anything scented in there. Now, I have had in the past potpourri. I feel a little bit more comfortable with potpourri than I do. Like in my bedroom, I have dried potpourri in a thing so that the room smells nice without having like a ton of excess. Like the Glade plugins concern me. Those are very concerning. Scentsy, sort of. I used to, when I was younger, when I didn't realize it was an issue, like I said, potpourri, because that was more of a thing in the 80s and 90s. Like on a warmer, you used to have actual like potpourri pots. I don't know if you can even find those anymore, but I used to do those and never had a problem. Who knows though, they could have something different in it now that's dangerous that wasn't in the 80s or 90s. I don't know. So overall, I don't like to have anything really scented in the room like that a bird is in. So that's just my preference. Now I do use Scentsy. I don't have it in the studio because I have the frogs in here. I probably could get away with Scentsy, but just in case, I do have it in my bathroom. So the door here goes into my bathroom. My bathroom's fairly large. One of the things I loved about this house. So that seems to be okay. Frogs haven't had any issues. It doesn't get super strong smelling in the studio, so I'm not too worried about it. In the living room, I've also got frogs everywhere, but the Scentsy is like the other like dining room, so it's pretty far away. I removed the one that used to be where their cages are now. In fish tank, because this gets brought up with fish too, I do use Scentsy around my fish tanks. I've not had any issues with that. Some people say that the scented oils might be an issue, or the Glade plugins. Back when I had my reef tank in the late 90s, early 2000s, I did use Glade plugins then, but they changed the formula, so I don't know if what was fine then would be an issue now. So I don't know how helpful that is for you, but I just don't trust really anything scented around the birds. If they're, now, to be fair, like I've got a scent, like one of those, the oils where the reed sticks are in, that is in my husband's bathroom, and he takes Sushi and Nugget in there. They'll be on his shoulder, and he goes and changes their water and lets them take a bath in the sink. Never had issues with it. Nobody's sneezing or showing any respiratory distress, but I also wouldn't keep that in the room that their cages are in, where they're like in there for longer periods of time. Wow, it is pouring. Angie's Creative Studio said, is the Blick watercolor paper any good? I don't like generic, I don't trust generics of most things. So like if it was gonna be a sketchbook where I'm not selling the work, I would trust that. If it's something that I'm selling the work, I'm gonna go with the stuff that's tried and tested and tried and tested. So Arches Hot Press Watercolor, Fabriano Artistico, which I don't buy anymore because I don't love the texture, but I do trust that it's quality, you know, otherwise. Canson papers, I trust them. So I don't go with generics on anything. I'll do generic tracing paper because the actual artwork isn't on that. I will do generic paint brushes because that's not affecting the longevity or the archival properties of the artwork. I will not use I won't use generic paint. I will not use generic paper unless it's for a sketchbook. Sketchbook, that's no problem. Because I'm not selling that. Now, I've not personally tried the Blick watercolor paper, but like I said, I'm pretty paranoid about the brands that I feel comfortable with. They might be perfectly fine. I don't know. I don't trust them. So when I'm looking for art supplies, I want to go with a company where this is the one thing. We just focus, Derwent, we focus on pencils. Pencils are our thing. Say Faber-Castell, pencils are our thing. Art supplies are our thing. Liquitex, art supplies. Being archival, not archival, we're gonna let you know that. This is what we focus on. I don't like Prismacolor, where the company who runs Prismacolor is under, oh gosh, is it Rubbermaid? I forget which. It's like some major company that is not, although somebody said they sold out. I need to look into all these different things. But that is not art supplies. They don't care. It's just an added thing that they make money on. And I'm not saying it's bad that companies make money. They have to. But why would you make me a product if you weren't making a profit off it? But I want you to also care that it's an art supply and what I need as an artist. So I just don't trust the generic ones because the generic ones are kind of like, I look at them as the equivalent of the cheap China stuff that comes out of China. The stuff where it's not, they don't care if it's archival. They just want to sell you a cheap art supply on Amazon, which is not that you can't get good stuff on Amazon, but it's, I don't personally trust it because I need my work to be archival. If I was a beginning artist and I'm just doing stuff for my own fun, just learning, okay, fine, maybe then, but that's me. But you have to keep in mind, I'm kind of coming from a different place because I do sell my artwork. And if I do something with supplies, like let's say I use Inktense, I'll sell prints, I won't sell the original because a lot of those colors are not like that. Same thing with my watercolor pencils, most of those. So, you know, you got to figure out where you are in your art journey and what is going to be really important to you right now. But if you're selling, the archival properties of that do matter. Tori said, when I worked at Michael's, my biggest complaint was that they didn't have a variety of materials. That and the astronomical prices for items that literally cost cents to make. Yeah, and I don't mind. I get that there needs to be a markup. My problem with Michael's, and Hobby Lobby's not doing much better now, but they used to have, there was a specific pad of paper. It was like Strathmore. The one with the yellow drawing pad or something like that. Which one was it? I don't know. One of them I used to buy. And it was $15.99, I want to say $15.99, $16.99, something like that for the same size. I forget which size, like 11 by 14, whatever, 9 by 12. At Michael's, that same paper was like $6.99 or $7.99, like way, way less, like half the price, full price. So not even on sale at Hobby Lobby. So Michael's prices were like so out of control for a long time. I don't know if there's that big of a discrepancy anymore, but that was a big one. I really stopped shopping at Michael's for the most part several years ago because of that. Oh my gosh, the storm is definitely above us right now. The frogs, Art by D, they're doing, or Art by Dr. B, the frogs are all doing really well. I posted over on MeWe. If you're following me on my personal account, you will be able to see Glitch, my little glitchy frog. She did not want her crickets tonight. Well, I fed her early. She still wanted to sleep. She didn't want to swallow those frogs, or crickets. She was just like, no, I'm not okay with this right now. So it was a challenge getting her to eat her food because I wanted to feed her before the live stream, and she did not like it. So we got that, but I got some really cute photos of her today. She's doing I put her in their bioactive tank. She's doing amazingly well. Still working on treating my purple one, the purple red-eye tree frog, for parasites. He's horribly infested still, so I've increased the dose on his medication, but he otherwise seems, I guess, okay. I don't know with him. Sometimes I suspect he has some issues with his kidneys because he keeps swelling up. I don't know. We'll see how he does. Murky's doing great. The new bumblebee dart frogs, I posted photos of everything has photos over there right now on MeWe. But the bumblebee dart frogs are so cute. They're little. They're like the size of my thumbnail. They're like that big right now. Well, that's not good. Anyway, they'll get bigger, but they're little babies right now. All the dart frogs are doing great. Oh, that's loud. And yes, if you do the Lachri fine art, it'll highlight my name in orange for me, and I'm more likely to see the comment. It's not that I'm trying to ignore people. I just don't see it if it's not. Where are we? Joseph said, oh, yep. Got that one. Oh, we got art by you. You reminded me of the frogs. How are they? So glad you're a night owl so I can hang out here while my kids are at school. Hi from Australia. Hello. Oh, that just jumped too far. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, they're doing really, really, like, I'm impressed with Glitch. Glitch surprised me. So Glitch was, I'm just kind of, you wrap this up, so we're waiting before we announce the winner of the giveaway. But you still got time to enter. Link in the video description. If you are in the U.S., don't worry. Those of you outside the U.S., eventually, once shipping with the virus stuff calms down, we can open this up. But right now, I'm just keeping it within the U.S. because it's just complicated. So anyway, yeah, the Glitch, I didn't think would live this long. When Glitch started with the neurological disorders, it was from an overdose with the medication. So the medication I thought was just straight an overdose, but now I'm thinking it might have gotten in her eye or her ear because it kind of covered her whole body when I put it on her because the dropper was too big and it just too much came out at once. I bet you she was the one of the frogs was upright, so the medication kind of ran down. One of them was like this. I bet you she was the one that was flat, and so it kind of got it all. I know one of them got it in their eyes and ears, so or at least the ear. So that I suspect was what triggered this. And so she started with a neurological disorder several weeks after that treatment, or maybe a week. I don't know. It was in January, like around the 20th, 24th, right around there. I don't know why the 24th is sticking in my head. I was so heartbroken when I saw that neurological stuff start, and she couldn't feed herself. She would see the cricket and she'd go to jump for it, but she'd go the opposite direction. So she's looking at it, but her brain, something's glitching there, and it is not, there's a problem. So I was like, well, hopefully she'll get better. I talked to a few frog breeders, and they pretty much said the ones they've seen this happen with, they have seen it from medication, and the frog only lived a couple of weeks. Well, here we are. That was in December. We are now almost to May, and she's put on weight. I thought, well, she'll either get better or she won't. Well, she started wasting away. She was losing too much weight because she hadn't eaten in so long. So I was like, I'll try force feeding her. I have to take it's actually an expired Costco card, so it's like a credit card. I have to use it from the corner of her mouth, pry her mouth open, and shove crickets in that I've life exited. I don't know how to word that in a friendly way, but I've there's a process with that that's really gross where you remove their legs and their life and all kinds of stuff. So that I balanced that on the credit card and then get her pry her mouth open and use my finger to kind of shove those crickets into her mouth while I'm prying it open. It's a thing. It's not a fun thing. But I started doing that every other night. She gets 2 crickets and she started putting on weight. And I thought she was a he because she was so much smaller than my female. No, she just had she stunted growth. And so now she's put on weight. She's grown. I'm nearly positive that's a female. She's big and she's active. She's very wobbly. She still kind of falls some, but I put her in a bioactive to see if touching different textures would help her to kind of like physical therapy, because she was in a hospital tank that was very basic before. Just like fake plant, paper towels, that is all in her water dish. So now we're trying, she still can't feed herself, but she climbs around. She's active. Like she seems to be enjoying her new tank. So yeah, I'm surprised she's still with us, and now I'm getting more. I hate to get too attached to her because I'm like, I don't know how long she'll be with us, but you can't help but to be attached to this little frog. So there's a frog story. Fran said, I want to hang a hammock between the 2 trees. You should do that on yours. Mine's done. You definitely do that on yours. Let's see. Okay, it is 9:30. We're going to go ahead and close entries. I don't know, Nick or Joseph, are you able to close comments on that thread so that you can count the entries? So we're going to use a random number generator to choose the winner of the contest over on MeWe, and we're going to announce it in just a moment. And Nick or Joe, I don't know who's doing it. I think Nick's doing it. Going to count and let me know who wins this painting. Don't worry, if you don't win this one, we're going to be doing this every week, pretty much every week. Every time there'll be the acrylics like this, the stuff I can get done in 1 or 2 nights, or 1 or 2 live streams, and then we will give it away. So we'll have a lot of these. You guys will have many, many chances to win a painting from one of these. I'm excited about these. And thank you to Fredericks for providing us with these canvases for these giveaways. They've also provided us with some stickers. I don't have them for you this week. We'll be giving some of those away. Maybe I'll just do random giveaways for the sticker set. They call them their sassy stickers, sassy sayings. So we will have those probably over on MeWe too. well, I mean, obviously MeWe, but I'm thinking I may just randomly post them in the group when we're, or on my art page, maybe that too. Let's see. Whoops, this just jumped. Sheila said, I'm loving your thunder sounds. Yeah, it's nice. I just get a little nervous after seeing that house catch fire last time we had a big storm like this. The good news is we don't have, as far as I know, hold on, let me make sure. I don't think we have any tornado warnings right now. So that is good. Just dangerous thunderstorm. Not ideal considering we saw that one house catch fire. Whoa, 5 notifications. Let's see. Lightning alert, dangerous thunderstorm alert, severe storm risk, oh, we do have a tornado watch. What is that one? And then flash flood watch. So it's not as bad as the other one. Let's see. Don't jump. This always jumps. Michael Perry said, just logged in and saw we are now over 2,400 on the MeWe Lachri group for artists. See, now this is going to be the trick. A lot of, or key, I don't know how to word that. A lot of people are joining MeWe and they're like, no one's here. I don't have friends and family. Make note, we've got a huge active art group. Join groups. I think that's going to be the key to keep ourselves entertained while we convince our friends and family to join. I think I was thinking about doing some merch and stuff because like I've been talking to people this week. Talked to my local fish store. I got one guy. I think he went and downloaded the MeWe app. But we were talking. You know, I'm trying to encourage people. People just don't know it exists. And what do they say when it comes to marketing? It takes 3 times of hearing something before you start going, huh? I'd like to know more about that product. So we just need to make sure we're letting people know. I'm going to be changing my Facebook profile every so often with MeWe info. That's it. Just to get that attention there, to remind people, here's a better platform we can use. I was thinking about maybe making stickers, like car stickers or something, with our art group. I don't know, just something that people start seeing everywhere, MeWe. We need that name getting out there because it's such a better platform and people are so much better behaved. I still think it's an algorithm thing, which is kind of encouraging because I was thinking, well, eventually when more people use MeWe, it'll get negative just like Facebook did. No, I don't think it is. I really think it's to do with the algorithm. Facebook's algorithm feeds negativity. It rewards negativity. That's what you're going to see because that's how their algorithm, and again, I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I think it's just what works. That's what you get people to respond. The more responses, the more they share, but what gets more responses? Negativity. They've known this. The news media has been doing this for years. Why do you think they tell you everything bad but nothing good? Because the negative is what people will thrive on. So, you know, there we go. Art by Dr. B said, oh, poor Glitch, that's why I can't have pets anymore. I love animals, but get too worried when they're unwell. Just breaks my heart too much. Well done with Glitch, that's amazing. Yeah, that's why I thought I wasn't going to get back into reef keeping after my reef tink in the early 2000s because I'm like, I don't want to worry. I feel like I worry about it too much. It is not a relaxing hobby. There is so much to worry about. So much can go wrong. But here I am with all my critters again. It's less scary now that I feel like with the frogs, I know a little bit more what to expect. Learning about parasites was a big thing. But yeah, I so know what you mean because there was a couple of times with even the red-eye tree frogs when Glitch, that was kind of the thing that almost pushed me over the edge when Glitch started with the neurological stuff because that was a perfectly healthy frog before and it was so frustrating and heartbreaking and I'm like, that frog's gonna die. And I just want to give up with frogs. Like I can't keep going through this. But luckily I didn't. Luckily we're still working through that and there we go. Let's see. Get caught up on some of, oh, you can't turn off comments on MeWe, suggesting it to them now. Oh, good. Yes, thank you. See, they take our suggestions. I love MeWe. Where are we? Sheila said, loving your heart, taking care of little Glitch. Well, you can't not. Like, it's not, I don't think it makes me a good person when I do it. It makes me, that frog is too cute. You just can't watch a frog suffer. I'm sorry. I think anyone would, okay, maybe not, because it actually is kind of a pain in the butt, but she's so cute. So worth it. Nick said, I have the entries listed. Okay, let's see. Andrea said, so glad your little sickly frog is doing okay. Me too. Janine said, the price for the 72 Derwent Light Fast at Michael's is $330 on Blick, $177. See, and that made sense when they used to take 40% coupons because you could pull that price down. That made it about the same. But they didn't. They said they were going to lower it, and they haven't. And it's just like, well, I'll shop at Blick. Blick is better, and like they have a better selection anyway. Let's see. Karen said, but I want this one. I'm an astronomer. Oh, don't worry. I'll be doing a lot of these because it's an easy way this is the fastest way for me to do a painting is this background. So you're going to see this background a lot. Let's see. Priscilla said, it's storming bad at my place as well, and it's affecting my Wi-Fi. Oh no! LA for Dream said, thank you for tonight and all the talk. I love all the talking. Thank you for joining. Gail said, praying for your safety tonight. Thank you. It's calmed down. It just calmed down, so hopefully that passed. Cat's Art Pick said, MeWe is so nice, and people in your group have given me positive feedback already. I'm so happy. Yay! So I'll just give you a little hint. Our winner is from Delaware. We'll come back to the name in just a moment. Get caught up in a couple more questions. Karen said, I quit watching nightly news years ago. They say it causes subtle but constant depression in people. I noticed the same, and I'm interested. I want to know the news, but like, yes, right there with you. Okay, here we go. The name of tonight's winner is, ready? We have Rob Younce from Delaware is going to get this painting. So Rob, send me a private message, or you can send it to Nick, Joseph, whoever you're comfortable with. One of us needs the address where I can ship you your painting. I'm going to, well, I'll sign it in just a moment here. I'm going to give you guys a trick on how to get a good looking signature on your paintings. But I'm going to sign this, let that dry overnight. I will varnish it, give it a few days, and we'll get this out to you. And again, for those of you who really want this, I will probably paint so many that look very similar to this for giveaways. I mean, slight differences, but there's going to be a lot of winners moving forward. So congratulations, Rob. Thank you everyone for entering. I'm excited about these giveaways. Like, I have so many planned. I used to do these all the time on Facebook, and they were always so fun. But then Facebook we all know how that went. So now we can do these safely over on MeWe, and yay. So Rob isn't here, so I'm accepting it for so let's see. I've got a stack, like seriously, a stack of all these paintings that we've been doing, these little ones. I have a lot of them. And so I'm going to post photos of them and some of them, and we're going to have giveaways this week on MeWe. We will have another one tomorrow. And that one I'll have the entries open for 24 hours. So, depending on when you log in, you can enter. So I will let you guys know tomorrow. I don't know what that giveaway is going to be. I know there was an eagle. Maybe we'll save that when we get closer to the 4th of July. So I did have an eagle in there. What else did I have in that stack? There's just a lot of these paintings. And I'm going to stick with doing things that are on the Frederick's canvas boards for these, because it's going to be easy for me to ship. I can just put it, like, protect it in cardboard and stick it in an envelope. So that way it's not too terribly expensive for me to keep shipping these out to you guys. Let's see. Michael said, great job, Lisa. Think you really hit it out of the park tonight. You always do. Thank you. You know, it's funny. These ones this design is one of the easiest paintings to do. Maybe because I've done these a million times, but they always look the best. They always come out looking like I'm always really happy with these. Sometimes I do these, and because it's kind of a rush painting, you don't get as good of it may be more detailed, but it doesn't always look as good. Okay, let me find getting the microphone. I need a white charcoal pencil so I can show you guys. Most of you guys know this trick, but let's show you that. If I can find my pencil, 1 second. I do not know. I'm sure it's in this. Hold on, let me pull these things out. I always throw them in here, and they're getting short enough I can't see them anymore. Hiding in it, there's one. So what I'm gonna do is take a white charcoal pencil. Don't use a regular pencil. One, it wouldn't show up anyway. Yet somehow when you varnished it, it's gonna slightly show up. It's the most annoying thing. So we're gonna take a white charcoal pencil. This one is a General's white charcoal, and figure out where you wanna sign your name. So what I like to do is hold the pencil and just say, kind of get a visual. Would it look nice here? Or do I think it would look nice here? I think I'm gonna go in this big empty space. And so you just write it out like you normally would. But this way your signature comes out looking like your signature. So if you struggle with the liner brush, you're just gonna trace over that. So we get the text, hold on, let me move the camera a little bit. There we go, you get your signature there. Plus, let's say you signed it and you're like, too big, hate it. No big deal, erase it, work over it. Although in this case, you could just paint the whole area black again too, would be an option. So this paint has to be completely dry before that'll work, or it just won't stick. Andrea said, even though I didn't win, I still love this painting tonight. I love the chatter as much as watching you paint. Always a fun time. Thank you. Clark Fine Art said you could do a scavenger hunt through your older videos to get answers for entries to give away one of your, when you've already painted. Oh, that sounds complicated, but really fun. We'll have to think how to make that happen. That sounds, I like the fun involved in that. Like, I'm going to have to work with that idea. I like it. Okay. So you've got a couple things you can do with the signature. One, I could just paint it white, let it dry, glaze a color over it. Two, I could mix a color. I just need it to be lighter. And I'm thinking just kind of a light, either a light blue or a light aqua color will work just fine. Probably mix a little bit of both. But I've got to mix white in with it no matter what, or it's not going to be opaque enough to show up. Now, if it gets too bright and you're like, wow, it's just too light, no big deal. When it dries, glaze a color over it. So I'm going to use a liner brush. This one is what is this one? A number 2 synthetic hog hair. And I've got to thin that paint with a decent amount of water. Now, all I have to do is trace over what I wrote with the pencil, and my signature looks just like my signature, like if I'd done it with a pen. And so one of the things I've seen people do, they'll just use a paint marker to sign so it looks like their signature. Don't do that. It looks terrible. You can tell it was done with a marker. It does not look the same. So this method lets you have it look just like your signature, lets you fix it if you mess something up. Now you will get to the point, like I actually normally don't do this on my own work because I can write with a paintbrush like this. I've done it for so many years, but you will get to the point where you don't need to write it first with the pencil. But you know, when you're starting off, there we go. Okay. Julie said the easy way would be to which date did I paint times live. Oh, which day did I paint this? I like that. Like the first person to answer that one. That is, I think that could work because that'd be an easy thing to go search and it would really just be the first person. But it kind of limits to only people who know how to do YouTube searches really quick. So I feel like anyone who's a little bit technically challenged might not have as much fun with that, but maybe some of them, we're gonna have so many of these. That's not a bad idea. So we've still got 15 minutes. If you guys want to chat, if you've got anything you can think about, you want to talk about, we're going to let that dry. Now, here's a quick tip. You can kind of see my white charcoal lines through a little bit of this. When it dries, I'll erase that. Don't erase it tonight. You will think it's dry. It'll be dry to the touch and you'll erase it. And some little dot will have been just wet enough that you get a smudge. I have done this so many times. The other thing, varnishing. I will always wait at least let it set overnight before I varnish. So many times I was like, oh, it'll be fine. And one little area was wet and I ended up with a black streak across the sky. I've done that one a lot. So no varnishing, no erasing the white under your name. Even if I take a hairdryer to it, I'm gonna wait. Competition answers match names to pets. We can do some fun ones, huh? Now, I'm not sure. I need to look into rules. Like this type of giveaway I know is pretty simple as far as like legalities of it because you don't have to have anything like hard. Basically everyone can enter, you know, within certain limitations. When you start having a contest where it's like, find the answer, that might be different. I need to look into the legalities of it because giveaways are very weird on what you're allowed to and not to do. Clark Fine Art said you could just pick the winner from the correct answer versus first to answer. Yeah. What is a good colored pencil? So I like multiples. My favorites are going to be Polychromos and Derwent Lightfast. Those are like my top of the top. Derwent Drawing are next, but there's not a huge set, but they're kind of a must-have. They just blend so nice. They're super waxy. And then Caran d'Ache Luminance is right behind that. So those are like my pro ones. Those are, I like the colors because there's more colors. So no, I can't even say that. It depends because Derwent's got the superior purples by a lot and magenta. So yeah, it's a toss-up between Faber-Castell Polychromos and Derwent Lightfast. Those are amazing. And then right behind those, Caran d'Ache Luminance. You can't go wrong with any of those. Let's see, what product and method for varnish? So the varnish I'm going to use is right over here. This is, I should have put this in the video description too. This is Liquitex. There we go. Liquitex High Gloss. I prefer a gloss varnish. It makes everything look so good. So one of the things that happens is with acrylic paints, or with the Liquitex Basics, they dry fairly flat. So when they dry, they may look a little bit different than they did when they were wet, just because you don't have the light refracting through quite the same. It's not shiny, so that is why. However, when I put that varnish on it, it's gonna look like it was wet again. Those colors will be so vibrant and beautiful. So that is the varnish that I prefer there. And I usually, if it's a bigger painting, I will use a sponge brush, like the little brush on a stick, or sponge on a stick, the black, oh, here's one. I will usually use these to varnish, just quickly go over. If it's small, I may use a paintbrush, but these are my normal way to varnish it. For the white charcoal, General's white charcoal. Let's see. Andrea said, I'm really surprised the paint sticks to the pencil. Well, because it's just charcoal. Kind of mixes in with it. Gail said, how about asking Lisa trivia questions and pick winners from correct answers? One of the things I really am hoping, I want to see live streams on MeWe, because that would be so fun to do as like just a quick little live, like something, little chat. Definitely would like that, but that might work too. Karen said, any special brand? Okay, got that one. Whoops, this just jumped. Caddium said, hi, Lachri, you might remember me from other streams. I do. I want to say you're such a big help in teaching me how to paint, going to graduate high school this year and pursue teaching. That is awesome. Yay, congratulations. Kim said, we are going to the beach for a few days. What art supplies would you take? I used to paint in acrylics when I went to the beach. It's a lot to drag down there though, so maybe not that. If it were me, if I was going to go paint out, I really like the Derwent Inktense. If you've got their little travel kit, something small. So I think that would be cool because you get colors. It's small, it's portable. Any kind of small travel type set of supplies is, for me, that would be my go-to because that's what I have and I really like those. But keep in mind when you're outside, things get windy. So how are you going to keep that, whether it be paper, an easel? Like, I don't really like normally I don't like working outside, but then again, when I used the Derwent travel set for that video, I had a blast. So that was with, a pad of paper where things weren't flying around. It was like all in my lap. So that would be my go-to, possibly pencils, not colored pencils, too many supplies. I have too many pencils. Well, I guess it depends on how you're storing your pencils. But yeah, I think my go-to would be the Derwent, the Inktense travel set. Or any, like if you've got a watercolor travel set, some kind of little like specific travel set would be my choice. LA for Dream said, I just got my first ever set of polychromos and I'm in love with them. They're amazing, aren't they? Eos Love said, I love these live streams while drawing and drinking coffee. So I'm doing too. Let's see. Raul said, first time catching you live. Been watching YouTube for over a week now. Oh, nice. Or been binge watching you for over a week now. That's awesome. Water brushes for beach. Yes, and that was one of the things that I did. So you can get these Derwent. I like theirs the best. Derwent has their water brushes. If you're going to take like a watercolor pencil or well, that worked well for that. But this brush is what I used for the Derwent, the Inktense travel set. I think I used a normal brush and then blended also with this. Now that I think about it, maybe I used another brush too. I did. It's a little short. It's been a while. It's been years. It was a little short brush. I used that. But if I were using the Inktense pencils or watercolor pencils, something like that is really handy. No, I had this too. I did have both. Which one was I using? I don't even remember. It's been too long. See, I don't paint outside often, so I can't offer you that many tips other than it's going to be windy and there are bugs and sun, so prepare for that. Priscilla said, are you still doing the art critiques on MeWe? If so, are you doing them on certain days? I have not done them in a very long time. We'll have to do that sometime soon. Maybe after we get our latest colored pencil collage done. I'm not sure. We'll have to do one soon, though. It's been a while. Karen said, this is my first time live also. Welcome, Karen. Let's see. Oh my gosh, lots of notifications here. And then for MeWe, if you haven't already, I've got links in the description for my personal page. My personal page is where I post like all my frogs. So if you want to see those, my animals, random pet stuff, things that have nothing to do with art, probably going to be there. Plant memes. We've got my actual art page, which is normally more just art. And then we've also got our art group. We've got a plant group, Lacri's Leaves. You can find that one. You guys named that one. That one wasn't mine. I thought the name was too fun, but I was actually going to try to name it Nothing to Do with Me. It sounded cool though. So we've got that. We've got a greyhound group if you got greyhounds, or if you want to have an honorary greyhound, your dog could be that. Let's see. Andrea said, are you planning to not let the same person win 2 weeks in a row? Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's a good point. Yes, no. We won't have the same winners over and over again at all. Like if you've won within the last year, you won't, like, we won't do that again. So good question. This was the first one, so we didn't have to worry about that. I'm really glad you brought that up because I forgot that. I'm trying to think of all the little rules that I used to write down when I have not done giveaways in years because Facebook sucks and that's where I used to hold them. So, so one of the things that I used to do with Facebook, I'd use the random number generator, but now the way things go, because I would just go by comments, each comment like entry 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and then use a random number generator and just match it up with that. Well, YouTube or Facebook decided to start putting things out of order and then not even showing you some of the comments. So I would get a comment thing that someone commented, but I couldn't find it, and then it would take forever. So you couldn't. It just didn't work. It just that platform's so freaking broken. Let's see. Shannon said, I made my own Derwent travel set. I cut small chunks of the Inktense colors I wanted in empty half pans and used a piece of magnet tape to hold them and in an Altoids tin. Holds 15. That is awesome. That's so cool. You should post like a tutorial or a photo. Show us in the art group that one. I'd love to see that. That's really cool. Shannon said, save buying the set and it's even smaller. Only cost for the plastic half pans. I got 50 for about $3. That is awesome. That is really, really cool. I've seen other people, Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, she's done that too for what, was hers Inktense or Watercolor? I've seen some other people do that. It looked really neat. I'd love to see yours though. Oops, I'll just shrunk that thing. There we go. Yeah, I'm too lazy at this point to do my own like DIY stuff. I used to do a lot of the DIY stuff, so I like watching Lindsay stuff. If you don't already follow her, the Frugal Crafter, she's here on YouTube, awesome channel. But she does some really, like she comes up with some really good ideas. I get to the point now where I'm like, I just need this to, like, I don't DIY stuff like I used to. I used to do a lot. Like it's crazy to think of the amount of stuff I used to, like, so when we got married, because you know, we were 23, we had no money. We didn't have money for a long time, but all my furniture, we had this old laminate furniture, but I wanted it all to match because back in the 90s, you know, things matched. So I got this fake marble like shelving paper and I used a hot glue gun and glued it over all the furniture so it would match. Like I used to do stuff like that all the time. I really haven't in a long time. I had fun with that stuff. Shall I say, I'm loving MeWe and our art and plant groups. I find myself not checking Facebook as much at all because when I do, same old thing, ad after ad. Yeah. Oh my God, I've noticed that lately. Ad after ad, people being like, I checked a frog group recently. I used my fake account. And YouTube or Facebook doesn't like that if you have fake accounts, by the way. But I had to have one because they blocked me anyway. So I had checked on that. I'm in a couple of the frog groups, and so I was looking again at some of the comments, and it's like, the advice people give there is so bad. So like on MeWe, you have less people, you may not get a response right away. I would rather have no response than bad advice. The advice people are giving, I'm just going, first, don't drink in Facebook because, oh my God, some of these people cannot be sober. But it's just, it is crazy to me, the horrible advice. Like there's just not a whole lot of benefit. And I thought, well, there's more people who use these groups. I'm going to learn more. Do I? Do I really? Or I can just go to the Dart Frog, like there's an actual, the Dart Frog forums, whatever. That one, there's Reef to Reef, great forum that I can look up stuff with fish. I don't need to get that from the Facebook group because normally the Facebook group is not the best advice. Whereas on the forums, it seems like people take more time to explain their theories on things and people will then take more time to explain why they disagree. But it's more, I don't know, I like the forums way better. So hopefully those come back. But yeah, it's odd to me the difference in the feel. That really surprised me, the feel of MeWe versus Facebook is, it was an added bonus. My big complaint initially that I've been complaining about with Facebook for years was their algorithm. It hurts businesses. Businesses, unless you pay, it's definitely a pay to play type thing, and you have to play with their algorithms. And even if you do something that does really well, most of your fans still aren't going to see it. So the average is 3%, and that is on the high end. 3%. So if I have 33,000 people following me on Facebook, 1,000 see it. That's insane. And I kept going, well, it's still 1,000 for free, so I would still do it. But I'm like, it's not, after they ban the account, I'm like, why would I keep building? Every time I post to Facebook, every time I tell someone, follow me on Facebook, I am feeding that platform. I'm done feeding that beast. I'm done. If any food I give is, here's your medicine, go find me at MeWe. Here's your medicine, go find me at YouTube. But Every time we post over there, every time we participate over there, we are contributing to that. Now, I don't think that we should just abandon it because like I was saying before, people don't know about MeWe. We have to let them know there are better alternatives out there. And my big issue with Facebook is how bad it hurts our businesses. Like my business used to do really well on Facebook and they killed that. And I can't afford to run these ads. These ads are stupid expensive. And they want money for ads on top of the fact that they have ads on my content. Like I don't, why are you double dipping? That's dirty. So yeah, yes, done. Let's see. So yeah, anyway, the moral of that was the difference in the feel. And I think it's the algorithm difference. One feeds negativity. One is just here's everything in order and it doesn't matter what content it was. I think that is what's making the different feel. And I didn't expect that going in. I really thought it was just a difference of my business can do better on one platform versus the other. And now that I'm there, I'm like, what a difference removing that algorithm made to the feel of the platform. It's crazy. Now we just need to let people know it's there and try to get them to join. But I think it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take them seeing constantly, find me on MeWe, see more of this content. So maybe post something that your friends and family like here's one of my photos from the baby shower. And my friend just posted photos from her stuff. But like, here's one photo, see the rest over at MeWe. Like we can do things to hopefully encourage. Art by Dr. B said, I use the Faber-Castell water-soluble graphite pencils when out and about. That is a good one to go with because you don't need much to make those work. Those are I love those and I first found them years ago on your channel. So wonderful for studies. No, that is a really good one because it's a fast medium. You could technically just bring one pencil, one water brush, so that would be this, and that's all you need. And maybe an eraser. But yeah, that would be in your pad of paper, so that's a really good one to go with. LA for Dream says, I love the Frugal Crafter. Me too. She is such a sweetheart too. Like if you've ever gotten a chance to talk to her, she is just, I love her. Joseph says, most artists DIY until they DHM. Do have money. That's definitely true. Andrea said, my first set of table type furniture was concrete blocks with a sheet thrown over them. I've seen that. I've had friends that did that. It worked. But by golly, we had a house to put something in. Yeah, that was kind of buzz. I'm like, I don't care. It's our own apartment. It's a tiny apartment, but I was just excited and made it cute. Shannon said, I'll try to take a picture of my phone and post it. I used a white Bristol and clear plastic to cut to fit and glue inside the lid to make a surface. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I definitely want to see. Andrea said, sooner than later, there will be no one on Facebook because they are all being banned. Exactly. And that's the funny thing. Everyone's getting all like, we're not like crazy weird, but I had a few complaints about people like, why, I don't want to use another platform. Please just keep posting on Facebook. And it's like, why? Because they already banned me once. You think that won't happen again? You think, especially with how vocal I've been now. Now I may have put a target on my back. I don't know that they pay that much attention. But why? You're probably not going to see most of my content anyway. And even if you can, until when? Until they ban me the next time. I'm not, hopefully it'll bring people over. Where are we? We'll wrap this up. Art by D said, I never had Facebook and never will go there. I just don't have time. Too many people haven't been happy with Facebook. It's not worth it. You're smart. Facebook was good at one point. There, in the beginning, it was funny. We went to BJ's Pizza last night. They have a really good gluten-free pizza. So we went there, and I was telling my husband about something that happened on the platform, and the guy was like, "Oh, what platform are you talking about?" And we told him, he's like, "I haven't heard of that." And so we got to talking about it, and I said, the way I always describe it to people is, it's like Facebook if Facebook was still good. He goes, "Oh, so back in 2014, or what did he say? 2011 or 2000? I don't remember. Like right when it first started. Before that, I forget what year he threw out. He goes, back when you had to have an actual college email address to even have Facebook. Because yeah, pretty much. But there was a time when Facebook was good, and I think that they got too big for their pants, and that time has passed. So yeah. Karen said, I was banned too, and I have no idea why. More people need to realize how bad, and here's the thing. So they ban you when you either, one, make a new account, which, no, or two, well, I guess I did, I had to make the fake one, or two, no one ever hears from you again and doesn't think twice about why. So that's why I still kind of want to keep posting occasionally on Facebook, just to, like, that constant reminder. Here's MeWe. Like, I may just start throwing my MeWe logo, like make a little MeWe logo with my name under it and do that as like a watermark and everything. See more at MeWe. Just people need to hear the name again and again and again before they'll even consider it. So you mention it to them once, they're not going to. They need to realize how good of a platform it is for our art business, for talking to our friends and family. I actually, like, I see your guys' artwork now. I never saw it before. It never came up. All I saw were freaking ads for the most part. Yeah, ads and whatever, excuse me, whatever drama was going on in different groups I was in. I just didn't see, or my own friends and family that were arguing with somebody about something, whatever they wanted, because that's what that feeds the app. Yes. Anyway, Velma said, I have to say, I fangled when you, or fangirled, there we go, when you accepted my request on MeWe. That's funny. Ramona said, I check Facebook once a year to say thank you for the birthday wishes. I didn't even do that this year. I just said thank you on MeWe. But I don't even know how many people bothered to post because I haven't been on Facebook. So yeah, I'm not doing the Facebook thing. Anyway, it is now 10:04. We are going to wrap this up. Oh, we've got, let's see. Janine said, I missed the airbrush templates. Can I get a quick repeat? Yes, it is the FX Texture is the name of it. Someone said Blick still carries it. So FX Texture is the name. This is what just so you can see the stencils. This is what there's 3 of them. It's kind of a paper. It's like almost like a laminated paper. They're kind of flimsy, but they work so well. Worth every overpriced penny. It's not overpriced though if it works this well. I just thought, you know, being as expensive as they were, they'd be a little bit more firm. Maybe it needed to be this thin to work as well as it does. That's actually a possibility. They are amazing. Anyway, let's see. Karina said, MeWe is great. I have hardly anyone on there. They join but don't use it. I wish more of the good people would give it a chance. Yeah, I love the no ads and so many more benefits. I also post there every day. Yeah. That's going to be the thing, is just getting people there. But here's the other thing. We're kind of early adopters, so we can start building our following there. Hopefully, you know, getting a little ahead of the curve there. So like if people were to start migrating over there, our art pages, our personal, like we've built that. We've got a lot of content there for people to see, so that maybe this is good that we're in there so early when it's not as busy as it hopefully will be. Art by Dr. V said, just want to say how lovely is the art community in general. I've always been too reserved to join on a live stream until today. Thank you, Lisa, and everyone who is here. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you joined too. If you're not already in our art groups are the same way. Like, we get rid of anyone. I have no tolerance for anyone who's going to be a jerk to someone. They just get booted. We're like, be adults is our main thing there. So yeah, you're pretty safe too. If you want to join our MeWe group and post your artwork there, you will not get the negativity that you sometimes see in other places. I don't know, how is there negativity with art? Like, I don't get people. I don't get it. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. Make sure to check out our moderators channel. Nick and Joseph, they helped so much. They helped with this gosh, I think Nick did everything with the choosing the winner tonight and doing the counting the entries and doing the random.org. He took care of that for us so I could keep rambling. So tell them both thank you. They both got art channels here on YouTube. They both do live streams pretty regularly, pretty fun. I actually got to watch Joseph's this week. So, and in the chats, it's usually a lot of the same people here. So it's fun to chat with everyone during the week more. So make sure, anyway, check out their channels. Tell them thank you. They help so much. You can follow me over on MeWe. I accept friend requests on my personal account if you're interested in more with the frogs and the fish and the updates there. So anyway, thank you again. I will have a new giveaway started tomorrow over on MeWe. It won't be a live stream. It will just, I'll pick one of one of the previous live stream acrylic paintings, and we will have another giveaway there. So make sure you're over there and watching for that. I will see you guys Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. I can't talk at all. Anyway, bye.